Hello, everybody! Oh my god. Hello, Matt, Yes Guy, Oe, Apparition, Eternal Magician, and Ruka. Oh my god, 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 oh my god! I can't believe what happened last time! Hello, Sailor Moon! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, you guys. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, that is true, Matt. I wonder though, this might be one of the times when I'm off, my title is completely off base. Oh my god, I can't believe it, I still can't believe it. I don't deserve this, you guys. This is my ship. My ship is sailing strong. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. Oh my god, you guys. I don't care if it's just their peace versions. Oh my god. Oh my god, yes. Absolutely, Matt. Absolutely. Oh my god. Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, I might have to change the title if Beatrice is not in this episode. Oh my god! I'm so happy, you guys! You have no idea how much I love this couple. Seriously, like, my all-time favorite couples in anything right now are basically Link and Midna from Twilight Princess, and Zelda from Zelda Twilight Princess, obviously, and Keiichi and Rena, and from Higurashi, and Akane and Junpei from 999. I just, the first two mostly. I still love the other one, but those two, the first two I said, are at the top. But Beatrice and Battler, I'm telling you, if they go further with this ship, which I don't know if it will, but what we've got already, that CG, like, I don't know if Battler is actually gonna fall in love with her, or if that was just like, fan service of some, like, for me of some kind. But oh my god, you guys, that was everything. And of course, for me it's like overshadowing the arrival of Dlanor, another piece, which we have this time a quote-unquote angel. Oh my god, who is a very interesting character, sentenced to death. Die to the death! Oh, the great equalizer is death! And her freaking face, that was amazing. And she has her own little entourage as well. She's gonna be a major minion of Erica, I see. So, oh my god, I just can't wait to see where this goes. Was I completely off base in expecting Beatrice to show up in this first scene here? Oh, Sailor Moon, that's really cool. Seriously, Valor and Beatrice, like, depending on if it goes further in the story, like, I don't know whether it's just gonna be like an implied thing, like, or if it goes further in the story. I hope it goes further in the story, but my god, we've gotten so much already. Yeah, yeah, she is a gauntlet knight, absolutely. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, a lot of the characters in Syconia are called Gauntlet Knights. That's not a spoiler by any means, but they share a lot of design similarity with Dlanor. Hello, Doy, and hello, James. Yes, welcome to the stream. We are just about to start. And hello, Anatar. Also, okay, are you guys ready? I'm ready. I hope I was not I hope I was not off base with this title. Let's get back into it. In the Golden Land, the quiet rain just kept on falling. Oh, thank God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God! He's talking to the real Beatrice and oh my God. In the arbor sat the sad witch whose eyes had lost their glint, and Battler. Virgilia could also be seen there. She sat next to Beato, knitting quietly. Lambda Delta's game had passed the climax of the first twilight, and they were taking a short break. Gazing out at the golden rose garden soaked with rain, Battler considered the present, what was to come, and what had happened so far. To Battler, the act of thinking was itself a battle. Interesting, a battle. Even with the game stopped and Beato unable to speak, he could still keep on fighting. Virgilia suddenly stopped her knitting as the fucking train in the background. Battler noticed it too, because though none should have been able to visit this rose garden, she had noticed a silhouette approaching. That's unusual. Not many people are capable of reaching this place. It's her. Oh wow, Dlanor's here. I didn't expect to see her outside of being summoned by Erica. Interesting. That silhouette, which walked amidst the quietly falling rain without so much as an umbrella, was Dlanor. Yeah, I can't pronounce. Yeah, I don't think I can pronounce that. Like, see, I'm a native English speaker. Yeah. It's either Dlanor sounds kind of, I don't know. I'm just gonna try to keep saying Dlanor, but I'll try to de-emphasize the O. That was a spectacular garden maze. Also, I'll try to make her sound a bit less robotic, as you said yesterday. A splendid way to enjoy the roses. Why are you here? It's been some time, Mrs. Beatrice. No, wait. Now it's Mrs. Virgilia, is it not? Long time no see, Dlanor. Come over here. We aren't ones to leave a guest out in the rain. Don't worry. She hasn't come to fight. Do you know her? She's one of my old friends from heaven. This really takes me back. That it does. Mrs. Virgilia possesses a deep knowledge in heavenly studies. I have often argued with her over interpretations.
あなたとの数々の知的冒険は楽しかったですよ。
My many intellectual adventures with you were quite enjoyable.
またいつかご一緒したいものですね。
I'd like to do it again sometime.
ええ。
Yes.
またいつかご一緒に必ず。
Hello, Guppy Force. Welcome to the stream. Let's do it again sometime.
あなたとはぜひまた戦いたいです。
I'd love to fight with you again. They used the word fight, but it didn't sound like they meant anything unpleasant by it. It sounded like something old chess rivals would say to each other. Unlike Beato, it seemed Virgilia always behaved properly and courteously, so she had many friends in various other worlds, including both heaven and the demon world. Surprisingly, Dlanor was one of them. Dlanor, who had just crossed swords with me just a short while ago, ducked her head like someone taking shelter from a sudden rain, and sat in the seat Virgilia pointed out, like a guest.
紅茶に希望はありますか?
Is there any type of black tea you would prefer?
何でも。
Anything.
あなたの入れた紅茶ならどれでも絶品です。
Any tea you make is superb.
では、ダージリンを。
And how about some Darjeeling?
バトラ君もベアトもおかわりはいりますか?
Battler, Beato, would you like some more?
ああ。
Yeah.
俺もベアトももらうぜ。
Beato and I would like a refill. Right? As usual, Beato didn't answer, but if you quietly gave her a cup, she would sip from time to time. Oh my god! There was still some black tea left in that cup, but it had already chilled. So Battler asked for a refill for Beato as well. What a gentleman! Oh my god!
お噂には聞いておりました。
I have heard the rumors.
残虐で知られた無限の魔女ベアトリーチェも
How pitiable that Beatrice, the endless witch famous for her cruelty,
こうなっては寂しいものです。
has been reduced to this.
こいつはもうゲームには参加してねえよ。
She's no longer participating in the game.
ゲーム版のこいつを操ってるのはラムダデルタだ。
Lambda Delta is the one controlling the Beato that's on the game board.
存じております。
I know.
ですが、本来のこの世界の主です。
However, she is the original master of this world.
そしてあなたはその主に招かれた正当な客人です。
And you are the proper guest invited by that master.
ですからこうしてご挨拶に参じました。
That is why I have come to pay my respects. On the game board, Beato and I met Dlanor. So would it be like, you say it's like blah, but with a D? Dlanor? That just doesn't flow very well for me. God, I'm not used to it. I'm not used to putting the D and the L sound together like that. Jeez. I think I'll see what I can do. But those were the game pieces of those witches. I was thinking this might come up. They weren't Beato and me ourselves.
だからわざわざここまでバトラ君とベアトに挨拶に来てくれたのですか?
Is that why you went out of your way to greet Battler-kun and Beato here?
相変わらず律儀な子ですね。
I see you're as conscientious as ever.
私の流儀です。
That is my way of doing things.
はじめまして、ミスター・バトラー。
Greetings, Mr. Battler.
ドラノール・エイ・ノックスと申します。
I am Dlanor A. Knox.
敵対する役ではありますが、よろしくお願いいたします。
We play opposing roles, but it is a pleasure to meet you.
おう、
Sure.
後ろ宮バトラーだ。
I just love how close they are here. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Hello, Romsh. Welcome to the stream. Sure. I'm Ushirimiya Battler.
よろしく頼むぜ。
Pleased to meet you.
はじめまして、ミス・ベアトリーチェ。
Greetings, Miss Beatrice.
ドラノール・エノックスと申します。
I am Dlanor A. Knox.
ベアト、
Beato?
お前に挨拶してるぜ。
She's saying hi. Oh my god, Valor! Oh god!
歓迎するとさ。
She says welcome.
ありがとうございます。
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Valor is so sweet! Oh my god! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Thank you very much,
ミス・ベアトリーチェ。
Miss Beatrice. The witch and the Inquisitor of Heresy, whose job it was to hunt witches. Oh my god. Greeted each other around a tea table surrounded by the aroma of black tea. It was a strange sight. Virgilia made gold butterflies spout from the palms of her hands and transformed them into a teapot and a can of tea leaves. It was a very witch-like way to make tea. Of course, she actually was a witch, so that scene wasn't particularly bizarre in itself. Though I was a bit concerned about whether Dlanor, an Inquisitor of Heresy, could watch such a spectacle.
ご安心を。
Do not worry.
私は振る舞われる紅茶の立て方に口を挟むほど無粋ではありません。
I am not so boorish as to complain about how my tea is served.
魔法で紅茶を入れているのにか。
Even though the tea is being made with magic?
物陰に紅茶の道具があり、私たちに隠れてミセス・バルキリアが紅茶を入れている。
There is a tea set hiding in the shadows, and Mrs. Virgilia is making us tea with it in secret.
それを魔法で入れたと私たちが解釈・判断し、物語に記した。
We interpret or judge that it was made with magic, and it is written as such in the tale. What tale?
ノックス第9条でも認められる解釈です。
That interpretation is allowed by Knox's ninth. Interesting. Huh. What does she mean by that, I wonder?
おやおや、
Oh my.
9条の解釈は大法院でもタブー視されるほどのデリケートな問題のはず。
I do believe the interpretation of the ninth is such a delicate problem that it's viewed as a taboo even in the great court.
私的発言とはいえ、首席異端審問官の発言と知られれば首が飛ぶかもしれませんよ。
Even though it's just a personal opinion, if he became known as the head inquisitor of heresy said such a thing, he might be sacked.
私がどのような解釈を記そうとも、
No matter what interpretation I record it with,
ミセスの紅茶の味を何ら偽ることにはなりません。
there are no lies in the taste of your tea.
ですから、私はその立て方を気にすることはないのです。
Therefore, I do not worry about how it was prepared.
ほう。
Though she looked cold, she was a surprisingly tactful person. If Dlanor was to deny that black tea had been prepared with magic, this magic would surely be crushed in an instant. However, the possibility had been presented that a tea set existed and had been used to make the tea normally. So the fact that Virgilia had made tea was in the end undisputed. Huh. Interesting, so these rules are even followed outside the game board. Huh. Interesting. I didn't realize that these rules would also be followed outside the game board. Holy shit, we got 32 people here already. You guys are amazing. Seriously, you guys. I didn't realize that this would also count outside the game board as well. Huh. Just thinking about some things. Then where would they actually be? I wonder. Magic that hides the result in darkness is evil. I will not permit it. However, magic that enshrouds the process is not necessarily evil. My foe is evil itself, not magic.
なるほどな。
I see.
紅茶のもてなしが出てくることが重要なんだよって。
The important thing is that you're being served some tea.
その立て方についてどうこう突っ込まないのが客の礼儀ってわけか。
So it's just common courtesy to avoid complaining about how it was made. That's right. When someone makes tea for you, it's common courtesy to be grateful. There's nothing elegant about pushing your way into the kitchen and criticizing how they brew it. You don't invite your guests into the kitchen.
そしてそこよりの配膳はもてなしの心で美しく飾られるべきです。
And when you set the table, you should adorn it beautifully in the spirit of hospitality.
どうぞ。暑いですよ。
Here you go. Careful, it's hot.
ありがとうです。
Thank you.
砂糖とミルクも欲しいです。
I would like some sugar and milk.
まだストレートでは飲めませんか？
You still can't drink it straight. Oh, come on, Virgilia. Even I can't drink coffee without milk.
子供なので
I'm a kid.
甘くないとダメです。
It must be sweet. Although sugar I wouldn't put in my coffee, but I gotta have the milk. Jeez.
魔法ってのも優しい嘘なのか。
So then, is magic a gentle lie?
嘘というと聞こえが悪いですね。
No, no, the word lie makes it sound bad.
日本語で表現する場合は就職と呼んだ方がよりふさわしいでしょう。
The word embellishment is probably more fitting.
子供に飴を与えるとき、
When giving a child candy, you can take a crumpled one up out of your pocket.
ポケットの中でぐしゃぐしゃになったのを出して与えるのと、
Or, you can use some clever sleight of hand to take the candy out.
素敵な手品を見せてそこから飴を出して与えたのでは、与える感情が全く違うはずです。
The impression given by each method varies greatly.
そりゃ 手品でポンと飴を出された方がこじゃれてていいよな。
Well, yeah, it'd look cooler if you took it out with a little magic trick.
違います。
Wrong.
飴を与えるという結果に対し、より美しく楽しい就職を与えたことに意味があるのです。
There is meaning in the fact that the result, giving them candy, has been adorned to be even more beautiful and fun.
マリアちゃんに飴をあげると
Think of when you gave Maria-chan a
き
candy.
ポケットから出して与えるのと
There's a huge difference between taking it out of your pocket to give it to her
普段から良い子にしていたから妖精さんが持ってきてくれたと言って
and slipping it into her pocket.
こっそりポケットに忍ばせるのは全く違うという意味ですよ。
And saying a fairy gave it to her for being such a good girl.
それを全員のアリバイを調べて、
In my opinion, it would be boorish to then question everyone about their alibis and pinpoint who it was that slipped it into her pocket.
誰がポケットに忍ばせたのか調べ上げて特定するのは私は無粋なことと思っています。
The important thing is the result, that the girl received the candy and rejoiced.
飴を受け取り、少女が喜んだという結果こそが重要です。
And it is significant that it was embellished,
そして少女を喜ばせるために就職されたことが意味あることなのです。
in a way that made her rejoice.
意外だな。
That's surprising.
魔法と名がつけば全否定みたいな感じで登場しやがったの。
When you showed up, I got the feeling you'd deny anything that went by the name of magic.
異端審問官としてはそう振る舞います。
Hello, Moko Moko and Mando Sora. I haven't seen you before. Welcome to the stream, both of you. That is how I act in my capacity as an inquisitor of heresy.
職務ですの
It is my job.
で。ですが、職務を離れているときはそこまで冷酷になりたくありません。
However, when I am away from my job, I don't enjoy being quite so cold-hearted.
勤務中は市場は持ち込まないってわけか。
So, you set your personal feelings aside when on duty?
できるやつだな。
You do it well.
異端審問官として魔女を狩るのは仕事です。
As an inquisitor of heresy, hunting witches is my job.
しかし、一個人としては魔女を憐れんでいます。
However, I personally find witches pitiable.
しかし、異端審問官としては無慈悲に断罪します。
Despite this, I carry out judgment mercilessly as an inquisitor.
結果において私が魔女たちを処刑するのに変わりはない。
In the end, that doesn't change the fact that I sentence witches to death.
私の憐れみなど、所詮は無駄な就職に過ぎません。
In the end, my pity is nothing more than a useless embellishment.
あってもなくても何も変わらない。
Whether I have it or not, nothing changes.
なら、なくてもいい。
So, it would be better if I didn't.
そんなことはありませんよ。
That's not true.
結果が同じでも心が違えば大きく意味が異なることもあります。
Even if the ends are the same, what's in your heart makes a big difference.
あなたの母が焼いたクッキーは優れたパティシエが作るクッキーよりきっと美味しかったはず。
Your mother's cookies are clearly more delicious than those made by a good pastry shop.
それは心が込められていることを知っているからですよ。
And that's because you know they were made with heart.
そうだな。
That's right.
結果が同じに見えても真心ってやつがあるかないかで意味は全然変わるかもしれねえぜ。
Even if the result looks the same, whether or not there's warmth behind the feelings of whoever gave it to you makes a big difference.
そうでしょうか。
Is that so?
私の心などあってもなくても何の意味もない。
Oh, Dlanor, what do you mean? That is not meaningless at all. Whether I have a heart or not is completely meaningless. Dolanor's gaze fell to her cup a little sadly.
んなことはね。
That's not true. Huh?
今の話を聞いて、俺はお前の見方を少し変えたぜ。
After hearing all this, I've changed my view of you a bit. Yeah, me too. Jeez.
だから、心が無意味なんてことは絶対にねえ。
And that's why I'm certain the heart isn't meaningless. Virgilia was a little surprised to hear the words she should have said coming from Battler's mouth. After all, understanding the heart is the first step towards finding the essence of magic. By now, perhaps Battler started to unconsciously start to understand bit by bit the essence of witches, the essence of witches, oh my god! I swear, if Battler learns magic, oh my god. And the very first essence of all, magic. Whether you want to become a witch or vanquish them, the very first step is learning about magic. Virgilia was sure that she'd felt this faint change within Battler.
先ほどの戦いではありがとうございました。
As for that last fight, thank you very much.
最後の最後に慈悲を与えてくれたこと感謝いたします。
I am grateful for the mercy you showed me at the very end.
あの俺は俺じゃねえぜ。
That me wasn't me.
ラムダデルタが操ってたんだ。
Lambda Delta was controlling him. I joined in on the 5th game partway through. I still haven't participated at this point in time. So until I do join in, that piece me is probably being controlled by Burncaster or Lambda Delta.
あいつらどういう気まぐれだろうな。
Just what kind of whims guiding them?
妙にかっこよくしてくれやがって。
Trying to make it look all cool.
あれじゃまるで俺がベアトを助けに来たナイト様みてえじゃないか。
Yes, they did, and I am so grateful to them. Oh my god! 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 They made me look like some kind of knight coming to save Beato.
ラムダデルタ教は魔女と人間のそれぞれが均衡しドローゲームとなることを望んでいます。
Lady Lambda Delta wants both witches and humans to be in balance, resulting in a draw.
エリカの登場により天秤が人間側に大きく傾いたので
With Erica's appearance, the scales tipped strongly in the favor of the human side.
ベアトに加担するように物語を操ったのでしょう。
So she manipulated the tale in a way that supports Beato.
それは知っています。
I am aware of that.
しかし駒はできないことはできない。
However, pieces cannot do things that are impossible for them.
そして本来の性格にふさわしい行為を得意とする。
And they specialize in actions appropriate to their original personality.
だからあれは確かにあなたのバトラの成し得たことです。
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes! Dlanor, yes! Therefore, that was certainly something that you, that Battler, was capable of.
だからあなたに感謝するのです。
That is why I am grateful to you.
何もしてねえのに褒められるってのは妙な気分だな。
It feels a bit weird to be praised when I didn't actually do anything.
ゲームがもう少し進めば俺の駒も俺が操るようになるだろうよ。
After the game continues a bit more, I'll probably regain control of my piece.
その時にも優しく手加減するかはわからねえぜ。
Not sure I'll be able to go easy on you then.
私も同じです。
It's the same with me.
次に太刀を交えるときは遅れは取りません。
The next time we cross swords, I won't hold back. Looks like we are shonen rivals.
上等だ。相手してやるぜ。
Yeah, there is a lot to unpack in this scene. Yeah, a piece can't act out of character. Basically. Which is what makes all the game board scenes meaningful, in that they're not doing things that they wouldn't do in the quote-unquote real world. Who knows what the real world would even be at this point, if there's even such a thing. Jeez. Bring it on. I'll be your opponent.
全力で来い。
Come at me with all you've got!
約束します。全力です。
I promise. With everything I've got. Dlanor, huh? I thought she was an emotionless killer doll without a heart. But maybe she actually is pretty approachable. Though, of course, neither of us will show any mercy when fighting on the game board. For a while, we gazed at the rain-drenched rose garden as we quietly enjoyed our tea.
一つ謝らねばなりません。
There is one thing I must apologize for. With a sudden sigh, Dlanor muttered something.
何がだ
What is it?
さっきの戦いのことならもうノーサイドだぜ。
If it's about that fight a short while ago, it's already over.
お互い全力で戦ったろ。
We both fought with everything we had.
勝ち負けは時の運だぜ。
The outcome was just luck of the draw.
いいえ、時の運ではありません。
No, it wasn't luck of the draw.
それに任せられなかったから、私は謝罪に訪れたのです。
I couldn't just let it be, so I came here to apologize.
何の話だ
What are you talking about?
勝ちを譲ったということですね。
You're saying you threw the match, aren't you? Oh boy. Battler. A lot of people giving you handicaps. Damn. Virgilia spoke softly, without hesitating in her knitting.
はい、
That is correct,
ミスター・バトラー。
Mr. Battler.
ミスターはかゆいぜ。
That Mister's really awkward.
バトラでいい。
Just plain old Battler works fine.
バトラー、
Battler,
謝罪します。
I apologize.
私たちは全力ではありませんでした。
We did not give it everything we had.
分かっていますよ。
I know.
金蔵は全ゲーム開始時に死亡している。
Kinsey was dead at the starting time for all games.
すでにベアトによって語られている真実です。
Beato has already spoken that truth.
あの戦いはバトラ君には引き分けに持ち込めれば上々。
In that battle, Battler-kun could only have achieved a draw at best.
勝ち目は絶対にないはずの戦いでした。
He most certainly had no chance at all of winning.
そうだな。
You're right.
一言そう言われちまえば、それで終わっちまう戦いだった。
If you just say that, the whole fight's already over.
なぜその赤を使わなかっ
Why didn't you use that red?
たまさかステイルメイトだからとでも言うのか
Don't tell me it was because of a stalemate or something like that.
ノックス第2条。
Knox's second.
探偵方法に超自然能力の使用を禁ず。
It is forbidden for supernatural agencies to be employed as a detective technique.
その赤き真実を私たちは直接使うことができません。
We cannot use that red truth directly.
しかし、窓が降雨後に開かれたことはないという赤き真実を
However, I gave Cornelia, who was protecting the window,
私は窓を守っていたコーネリアに持たせていました。
the red truth that the window was never opened after it started raining.
ドーン
Boom!
そいつでチェックメイト
That's checkmate.
だ。どうしてあの姉ちゃんがその切り札を切らなかった？
Why didn't that girl use the trump card?
これは
This is
金券。我が赤が破れる道理はなし。
allow me to speak.
そなたの望み叶うことなしと知りたまえ。
There's no way to defeat my red. No, that your wish will not be granted. Though she had fought calmly up until that point, she quickly got flustered when I dashed forwards. I thought she'd been frightened by my sudden attack, but the truth was different. Even though she held a trump card that could completely repel me, she suddenly became unable to use it and hesitated.
わかりません。
I don't understand.
突然あの瞬間に切り札の使用が禁じられたのです。
All of a sudden, in that instant, use of that trump card became forbidden.
それを失った時点であなたの勝利は約束されました。
Once we lost that, your victory was guaranteed. Maybe it had something to do with narrative flow. I don't know, jeez. Huh.
ゲームマスターラムダデルタ教の干渉でしょう。
The game master, Lady Lambda Delta, probably interfered. That's what I'm guessing too.
あいつめ
That bastard!
結局あの戦いは全てラムダデルタの手のひらでの茶番ってわけか。
So in the end, that whole fight was a farce in the palm of Lambda Delta's hand.
俺たちはあいつの筋書き通りお芝居をやらされたってわけだ。
She made us play out that entire act according to her script.
不愉快とは思います。
I do not like it.
しかし全力で来いとおっしゃられたバトラにそれを打ち明けぬわけにはいきませんでした。
However, since you told me to fight with everything I had no choice but to let you know.
許してください。
Please, forgive me.
それでもあなたは切り札を失っても残されたカードで全力で戦いましたよ。
Still, even though you lost your trump card, you kept on fighting all out with your remaining cards.
あなたを非難など誰にできるでしょう。
I didn't believe anyone could find fault with what you did. That's true, it wasn't her fault. It was something Lambda Delta did to prevent them.
そうだな。
That's right.
むしろ余計なことをしやがってとラムダデルタを怒るべきだぜ。
On the contrary, you should be mad at Lambda Delta for butting in.
金像が存在しないのはすでに確定事項のはず。
Kinzo doesn't exist. Should already be an established fact.
ラムダデルタ教もベルンカステル教もそれをよくご存知のはずです。
Lady Lambda Delta and Lady Berncastle should know this well.
なのに2人とも金像が存在する余地を残してゲームを進めています。
And yet, they are both leaving room for Kinzo to exist as they continue in this game. Exactly, Romsh, is what JM Trad said. Like, there would probably be clues that it was opened during the rain.
まるで2人で結託して金像を否定させないかのようです。
Hello, Puppet Strings. Welcome to the stream. It's almost as though the two are conspiring to prevent Kinzo's existence from being denied.
つまりじいさまをわざと逃がしたと。
In other words, they intentionally let grandfather escape. What do they want with Kinzo?
はい、
Yes,
何かの意図があるに違いありません。
they must be after something.
確かに少しおかしいですね。
That is a bit odd.
ラムダデルタ教とベルンカステル教は 魔女が優勢にならない限り対立する関係にあるはず。
Lady Lambda-Delta and Lady Burncastle should always be in opposition, unless the witch side is in a superior position. Interesting.
現在の流れでは二人が結託することは考えがたいのですが。
It's hard to imagine that those two are conspiring together at a time like this.
私には何か邪悪な目的があるように思えてなりません。
I can't help but think that they have some sort of wicked goal. They are, in all likelihood, the final bosses.
それをお伝えしたくて私はここまで参りました。
I came here because I wanted you to know that.
お前そんなことのためにわざわざここまで来てくれたのか。
So, you came all the way here to tell us something like that?
はい。
Yes.
ですので私はもう用事を終えました。
Which means that my business here is finished.
これにて失礼しようと思います。
I think I will leave now.
ゲームも時期に再開するでしょう。
The game will probably resume shortly.
エリカと今後のゲームを打ち合わせねばなりませんので。
I must aid Erica during the rest of this game, but know that I think she is a punk bitch. Dlanor gulped down the last of her black tea and stood up.
次は第二の番の戦いにて、
Next is the battle of the second twilight.
そこにて私は再び無慈悲の太刀を振り上げるでしょう。
At that point, I will once again raise my merciless longsword.
ですからどうかバトラも。
So I ask the same of you, Battler.
私に慈悲などかけぬように。
Show no mercy towards me.
わかってるぜ。
I understand.
手加減なんかしたらこっちの頭が叩き割られちまうぜ。
If I went easy on you, I'd have my own head smashed in.
ゲーム版での私はベルンカステル教の駒フルドエリカの手先も同然です。
Okay, this is really interesting. Okay, I'm starting to figure out how this works. So the magic people have the ability to go off the game board and they essentially get their freedom back. In other words, they're kind of playing along. Like all the magic people. Like Dlanor and Renove and Virgilia. Like they can be summoned and they can be like, they can act in like whatever way the game master wants them to believe. To act, I mean. But they can also go off the game board and into the meta world and act like themselves. And like act freely. Interesting. So they are kind of like actors in a way. All participating in this. That is really interesting. On the game board, I am nothing more than Lady Burncastle's piece and Ferudo Erica's subordinate.
これからも敵として何度も立ちはだかるでしょう。
In the future, we will probably stand across from each other as opponents many times.
しかし私の心は本来中立です。
However, my heart is always neutral.
いや、忘れてください。
No, please forget that.
そんなことはあなたと私の関係においては何の意味もない。
Such has no meaning considering the relationship between the two of us.
あるぜ。
It does.
強敵であることは間違いないが、あんたをムカつきはしなくなった。
There's no doubt you're a fearsome opponent, but you don't piss me off anymore.
エリカのやつは最高にムカつくがな。
Though that Erica totally pisses me off. I know you'll make the right decision in the end.
よかった。
Good. She pisses me off too.
私もフルドエリカ。
Furuto Erika also pisses me off. As Collider ad-libbed before, she is a punk bitch. Dlanor's expression finally softened slightly. At the very last moment, it felt as though we finally understood each other.
フルドエリカはとても邪悪な存在です。
Furuto Erika is a very evil entity.
先ほどの敗北で面目を潰され、復讐心に燃えたぎっています。
She's lost face with her recent defeat, and is burning with a desire for revenge. Do not underestimate her.
何を企んでいるのか、私にもわかりません。
Even I don't know what she is planning.
ですが、ろくなことのわけがない。
However, it can't be anything good.
注意してください。
Please take care.
ベルンカステルの困って時点で気を許す気はないぞ。
Just knowing she's Berncastle's piece tells me I can't let my guard down. Dlanor nodded as though satisfied, left the overhang of the arbor, and walked out into the rain.
あのような邪悪の手先を務めることになろうとは。
To think I'd serve as a subordinate to such evil.
どうして私はこの世界に呼ばれたのか。
Why was I called to this world? It really is such a nice thing knowing that she's a good guy in the end. Oh. Well, Dlanor, maybe Battler can free you from Berncastle's control and Erika's control. Dlanor let out a small sigh. Pieces can do nothing except fulfill the function they have been given. And that function is given to them by the one who controls them. She probably can't disobey her own player, be it Berncastle.
呼んだのはベルンカステル教かもしれない。
Lady Berncastle may be the one who called you here, but she did not create you.
しかしこの世界に受け入れたのはベアトです。
However, the one who let you into this world is Beato.
この子が望まなければあなたは迷路庭園を抜けここへは至れなかったのだから。
If this child didn't wish it, you would never have been able to make it through the garden maze and arrive here.
ね、ベアト。
Right, Beato?
Miss Beatrice、
Miss Beatrice,
あなたは私に何を求められるのか。
what is it that you want from me?
邪悪の手先としての私があなたの何かに応えられるならば幸いなのですが。
Oh God, she wants to help her. I do hope that I can help you in some way, though I may be a subordinate of evil. She spoke to Beato, but of course there was no response. After bowing once more in thanks for the black tea, Dlanor disappeared off into the rainy rose garden.
この黄金鏡にはベアトが望まない限り誰もたどり着けないのか。
So, no one can reach this golden land if Beato doesn't want them to. Yes,
ドラノールをここへ呼んだのはこの子なのですよ。
this child is the one who called Dlanor here. Oh,
ベアトがあいつをここへ呼び俺に会わせたのか。
so Beato called her here so I could meet with her? However, I know of a person who reached this place despite Beato's wishes. Angie. Yep, in the last game, Angie reached this place by herself, even though she was an uninvited guest. Was that also something Beato wished for?
ここに私がいて、あなたがいることも、
I am here. You are here.
ベアトがいることも、
Beato is here.
そしてドラノールが招かれたことも、
Dlanor was invited here.
すべてはこの子が望んだことなのです。
All of these things happened because this child wanted them to.
ドラノールとあなたが過ごしたこのささやかな紅茶の時間さえも、
Even the bit of time you and Dlanor spent together drinking tea. Aww.
ベアと
Beato,
俺はあいつから何を知れと言うんだ。
what was I supposed to learn from her?
それがお前の心臓を探し出し安らかに眠らせることと関係があるのか。
Does it have something to do with finding your heart and letting you rest in peace? Dlanor A. Knox, the natural enemy of witches, an inquisitor of heresy, a vanguard of mystery who denies fantasy. Is she here to help by gouging out your heart and choking the life out of you? Please stand
片足で
on one leg. Oh boy. It's punishment time. I'm guessing. Cornelia slowly got up and stood on one leg as she had been ordered. Her hands were clasped behind her back because she had been ordered to do so. Then, with a thump, Erica pushed her from behind with both hands. Oh, God. Cornelia landed on the floor face first with a thud.
立ってください。
Please stand
片足で
on one leg. Cornelia rose shakily. Then, once again, she stood on one leg as she had been ordered. She had been ordered not to hold her ground. So she had fallen on her face over and over again. She had barely managed to protect her nose, but after smashing against the floor so many times, her face was bright red. She wasn't shedding any tears. No, she couldn't shed them, because she was forbidden to do even that.
立ってください。
Please stand
片足で
on one leg. Ugh.
立ってください。
Please stand
片足で
on one leg. Oh boy. Erica repeated this falling torture over and over again. At times like this, Erica hated counting things. So she decided that once she ran out of fingers to count the number of times, she would just repeat it until she lost interest. However, Erica's main redeeming feature was that she never lost interest in anything. So the torture continued on and on. Erica didn't know why Cornelia had been unable to fully protect the window. So, the whole time since then, she had placed all the blame of their loss on her.
緊急謹んで申し上げ立てまつる。
Please allow me to speak.
コーネリアの咎を許したまえ。
Forgive Cornelia.
すでに彼女の咎のみそぎには十分なり。
She has already repented enough.
ああ、そうですか。
Oh, is that true?
では、ここからはあなたが変わってください。
Then please take your place from now on.
ガートルードに咎はなきなりや。
Gertrude has done nothing wrong.
ガートルー
Gertrude,
立ってください。
please stand
片足で。
on one leg.
両手は後ろで組むように。
Clasp your hands behind you. Gertrude followed the order and clasped her hands behind her back, standing on one leg.
耐えて踏みとどまってはダメですよ。
You mustn't resist or hold your ground.
膝を折ることも許しません。
You are not permitted to bend your knees.
涙をこぼすことも許しませんから。
You are not permitted to shed any tears.
いいですね。
Got it?
御意。
As you wish.
ガートルード。
Gertrude! Erica made a show of walking behind Gertrude. She even enjoyed making her wonder why she'd push. When she'd push. At that time, Gertrude and Cornelia burst with a bright light and disappeared, because Dlanor, who must have returned at some point, had sent them back to the heavens for the time being. Erica, who'd had her fun spoiled, gave Dlanor an openly malicious look.
ミスエリカ、
Miss Erica,
我が部下のトガは上司の私が背負います。
I will bear the punishment for all my subordinates' faults, as their
ど
superior.
うか部下をお許しください。
I ask that you let them go.
ノーサンキューです。
No, thank you.
お仕置きってのは苦痛を与えるから意味があるんです。
Punishment only works because it causes pain.
傷一つつかない無痛覚の人形女など面白くもなんともありません。
There's nothing interesting about an unfeeling doll girl that I can't leave a single injury on. Erica slowly grabbed hold of the back of Dlanor's hair, tugging unrelentingly. Dlanor's neck tilted upwards, creaking.
傷はつきませんが、傷つきはします。
You may not cause a physical injury, but you do injure.
あんたに傷つく心なんてあるわけもないです。
As if you had a heart that could get injured.
魔女狩り殺人人形の分際です。
You lowly witch hunting murder doll!
私に口答えする気ですか？
Are you trying to talk back to me?
大ベルンカステル教の使者にして分身のこの私に
Me, the envoy and devil of the great lady Burcastle!
いいえ、
No.
あんたらが使えないから私がベルンカステル教にお叱りを受けるんです。
I got scolded by Lady Burcastle because you guys are useless!
二度と無様な真似は見せないでください。
Never fail so lamely again!
いいですね。
Understand! The hair she had grabbed was stretched back as far as it would go, along with more creaking. That didn't cause Dlanor any physical pain, but she could clearly feel Erica's ill will.
失礼しました。
My
お
apologies.
許しください。
Forgive me.
クズが
Filth! With a sound like a bowstring being cut, several of Dlanor's hairs were pulled out. Then Erica waved her hand about as though trying to brush off something dirty that had gotten stuck to it.
まあいいです。
Well, that's okay!
これで終わりにします。
I'm done!
ようやく私の怒りも収まり灰色の脳細胞がうずいてきましたから
My anger has finally settled down, and my little gray cells are tingling again.
あの使えない二人を呼び戻して現場の再構築をしてください。
Please call those two useless people back and reconstruct the crime scene.
推理ゲームを始めましょう。
Let's start the reasoning game.
わかりました。
Understood.
ガートルード、コーネリ
Gertrude, Cornelia.
よい
As you wish. As you wish! The two of them reappeared behind Dlanor and reconstructed the crime scene for Erica, the one who had just been tormenting them.
金蔵の失踪なんて第一の晩のおまけでしかありません。
Kinza's disappearance was nothing more than a bonus found after the first twilight.
さあ第一の番の検証を始めましょう
Let's start investigating the first twilight itself.
とその前に
But before we do that,
実は私たちは殺人事件の発生以前から一つの謎を突きつけられていることをご存知ですか
did you realize we were actually given a riddle before the murders even occurred?
はい。
Yes.
昨夜の24時の何者かのノックによって現れた片翼の鷲の刻まれた手紙ですね。
The letter with the mark of the one-winged eagle, which appeared at 24 o'clock last night, along with a knock by some person.
そうです
That's right.
一見物語はその瞬間に人間の誰にも不可能未知の魔女が存在しているかのような幻想を作り出しています
The tale creates the illusion that the events of that instant would be impossible for any human, making it seem like an unknown witch exists.
まずはこの魔女幻想を叩き潰すことから始めましょう
Let's start by crushing this illusion of the witch.
手紙が届けられた昨晩の食堂の状況から確認していきます
We'll first check the situation in the dining hall last night when the red letter was delivered.
了解です。
Understood.
ガートルード、コーネリ
Gertrude, Cornelia.
ア、昨晩の食堂の親族会議を再構築。
Reconstruct last night's family conference in the dining hall.
御意
As you wish. The family conference last night was held with the adult relatives in Battler. And partway through, the servants had arrived to serve tea.
手紙が現れた瞬間の全員の立ち位置を確認しましょうか
Let's check everyone's location at the instant the letter arrived.
どうなってましたっけ
How did that go again?
近景謹んで申し上げる
Please allow me to speak.
親族会議以前にエリカ、ジョージ、ジェシカ、マリア、南條、ゴーダ、熊沢は屋敷より退出しゲストハウスへ移動したものなり
Before the family conference, Erica, George, Jessica, Maria, Nanjo, Goda, and Kumasawa left the mansion and moved to the guest house.
近景謹んで申し上げる
Please allow me to speak.
残りはクラウス、夏日、源氏の3人のみが2階廊下におり
Of those who remain, only Kraus, Natsuhi, and Genji were in the second floor quarter,
それ以外の全員は食堂におりしこと申し上げたて祭り
while all others were in the dining hall.
屋敷は親族会議に先んじてすべて施錠されていたため、
Because the family conference was proceeding, and the mansion was completely locked,
それ以外の人間は屋敷に入ることができません。
all other humans were unable to enter the mansion.
おやおや
Aha!
それでは屋敷内の誰にも食堂の扉をノックして手紙を置くことはできないということになりますね
That would mean that there was no one inside the mansion who could have knocked and placed the letter there, right?
そうなります。
Yes,
その人物こそが手紙を記した魔女、ベアトリーチェである、との魔女側の主張でしょう。
the witch side will probably claim that the one who did this was the witch who wrote the letter, Beatrice.
バカバカしい
Ridiculous.
くだらないトリックです
A stupid trick.
手紙が24時の瞬間に置かれた保証はありません
There's no guarantee that the letter was placed there at exactly midnight.
それ以前にもう置かれていたと考えるのが常識的です
It's only sensible to consider that it might have been placed there earlier.
手紙が発見されるほんの数分前に、シャノンとカノンを給仕に呼んでいます。
Just a few minutes before the letter was discovered, Shannon and Cannon came in to serve tea.
二人を迎え入れる際、 廊下に手紙などの不審物が一切なかったことを複数が確認しています。
When they entered, multiple witnesses confirmed that there was nothing suspicious like a letter in the hallway.
100万人いなかったクラウス、ナツヒ、ゲンジのうちの誰かが
Maybe one of those not in the parlor. Klaus, Natsuhi, or Genji
その直後に隙を見て手紙を置いただけのことでしょう。
simply saw their chance right after that and placed the letter there.
いえいえ、ゲストハウスに行ったはずの人物でも可能です。
No, wait. It should be possible for the people who supposedly went to the guest house too.
屋敷は施錠され、外部の人間は入れなかったそうですが、
We heard that the mansion was locked and that no one outside could get in.
ゲストハウスに戻ったふりをして屋敷内にこっそりと隠れていた人間がいたなら、
But if someone pretended to have gone to the guest house and instead hidden the mansion,
その人物が手紙を置いたとしても何ら問題はありません。
it would have been perfectly possible for them to place the letter there.
金系
Allow me to speak.
青き真実有効なり
Blue truth, valid.
となると問題はノックです。
In that case, the problem is the knock.
手紙と違い、ノックの瞬間にその場に存在しなくてはなりません。
Unlike the letter, someone would have to exist there at the instant of the knock.
なるほど、それこそが魔女という名のいないはずの人物が存在する証拠だと。
Ah, Zia-san, that is so sweet of you to say. Well, thank you for dropping in, and I hope I'm not interrupting your work too much. And hello, Chaos Shield. Welcome to the stream. Oh, hello, JM Chad.
I see. So this is the so-called proof that a person who shouldn't be there, a witch, existed?
実にバカバカしいにも程があります。
This is just so ridiculous.
その程度でこのフルドエリカが屈服するとでも？
Do you think that I, Perudo Erica, would surrender to something like that?
まずノックが確かに食堂の扉を叩いたものなのか疑います。
First off, we can doubt whether the knock was even something hitting the door to the dining hall at all.
例えばですが、屋敷の構造上2階の特定の柱を叩くと音が柱を伝わり、
For example, there may be a certain pillar on the second floor, which because of how the mansion's constructed,
食堂の人間があたかも扉をノックされたかのように誤認してしまうとか。
makes a noise when struck that gets transmitted down the pillar. That sounds just like a knock on the door to people in a dining hall.
あるいは偶然何かの音をノックと聞き間違え同様に誤認してしまうとか。
Or they could have misheard some random sound to be a knock, and they all misconstrued it in the same way.
あるいはノック音を録音したテープがこっそり再生されていて、
Or the recorded sound of a knock could have been stealthily replayed from a tape.
それがちょうどあのタイミングで聞こえるように細工されていたのかもしれない。
Which might have been carefully set up to go off at exactly that time.
いずれにせよ扉の向こうに誰もいなくてもノックを聞かせる方法なんて。
Either way, I can think of many ways to make them hear a knock, even if no one was on the other side of the door.
いくらでも考えられます。
How is that, my master?
いかがです？我が主。
How is that? Please, Bernie! Don't abandon me! Please!
我が推理
How is my reasoning?
だそうだけど、いかが？
That's what she says. So, what do you think? Hey, Lammy Whammy Poo, can you do your red truth thing?
ベルンの可愛い子もの精一杯頑張って考えた青き真実みたいだから。
Well, it looks like your huge piece gave it a all thinking up these blue truths.
気前よく赤き真実をサービスしちゃおっかしら。
So I guess I'll be nice and give out a few reds.
まずは手紙から行こうかしら。
I guess I'll start with the letter.
24時の大時計の鐘の時に鳴ったノック。
We have both the knock made with the battle of the large clock rang out at 24 o'clock.
そして扉を開けたら、そこに置かれていた片翼の足の封筒の手紙。
And the letter sitting there in an envelope bearing the one-winged eagle crest when the door was opened.
客間にいなかった人間がこっそりと廊下に置いていったのだろうという想像は実に王道よね。
It's so obvious to suspect that the people who weren't in the parlor secretly placed the letter there, right?
クラウス、ナツヒ、ゲンジの3人はその手紙に触れてさえいない。
Wrong! Class Natsuhi and Genji did not even touch that letter! Ha ha ha!
へえ。
Aha.
じゃシャノンカノンが救助に訪れて扉を閉じる瞬間に最後に食堂に入った最後尾の人間は誰？
Then, when Shannon and Cannon came in to serve tea, who was the last human to enter the dining hall?
例えばカノンとか
Let's say it was Cannon.
最後尾のカノンが扉を閉めるときにこっそりポトリと手紙を落とせば簡単じゃない？
Wouldn't it be easy if Cannon, the last person in, secretly dropped the letter there when he closed the door?
食堂の全員の誰も、いえ、もっとシンプルな言い方をするわ。
Not a single person in the dining hall! Oh, no, there's a simpler way to say it.
24時の時点で屋敷内にいた誰一人。
Among all those inside the mansion at midnight,
あの手紙を廊下に置いた者はいないわ。
not a single person placed that letter in the corridor.
触れた者はいないという言い方はできないわけ？
So you can't say that no one touched it.
そりゃそうでしょ。
Obviously,
彼らは拾って触れたわ。
they touched it when they picked it up.
触れてないとまでは言えるわけない。
Jeez, my voice is cracking from doing the lambda. Jeez. Too much.
Of course, I couldn't say that none of them touched it.
なるほど。
I see.
じゃあこういう解釈だわ。
Then let's interpret it this way.
24時の時点で屋敷外に存在した何者かがあらかじめ手紙を廊下以外の場所に置いたのよ。
Someone who existed outside of the mansion at midnight placed a letter somewhere other than the hallway beforehand. Placed a letter somewhere other than the hallway beforehand.
そして何らかの方法でそれが移動して最終的に廊下に置かれた。
Then it was moved by some means and ended up placed in the hallway. Oh, thank you, OA. You sent me a bunch of Umineko profile backgrounds. That is so cool. Thanks.
仮の想像ですが、例えば使用人たちが押してきた。
I'd like to also say that today is the birthday of my moderator, OA, who's been here since the beginning. She has done an amazing job here. And seriously, a lot of this wouldn't be possible without her. So everybody say happy birthday to OA. You don't have to type it, but just wish her a happy birthday because she definitely deserves it. Seriously. Thank you, OA, and happy birthday.
Just as an example, let's say it was stuck to the bottom of the serving cart. The servers were fishing.
お茶の道具を積んだ配膳車の下部の裏側に貼り付けられていたとか。
It was simply glued there in a way that could make it come unstuck after a certain amount of time.
それは時間が経てば剥がれてしまうような簡単な接着。
When it eventually fell off, it became the letter left behind by a witch, who should have existed.
それはやがて剥がれ落ちて存在しないはずの魔女が置いていった手紙となる。
In other words, this is a classic trick.
つまり時間差で手紙が現れるようにすることで真の差出人がその時刻にアリバイを作ろうとする古典的トリックです。
Where the true sender gives themselves an alibi by making the letter appear at a different time.
金系
Allow me to speak.
青き真実
Bluetooth Bluetooth valid. Hello, Seawat. Welcome to the stream.
ちょうど都合よく食堂の扉の前に落ちたのは犯人にとって幸運だっただけということ。
In other words, The fact that it landed just outside the dining hall door was just the culprit's good luck.
下手をすればそこは厨房か廊下かはたまた食堂の中だったかもしれません。
At worst, it might have happened in the kitchen, the corridor, and even inside the dining hall.
Oh, good!
食堂の中ならば随分と素敵ですね。
If it had happened inside the dining hall, that would have been even more wonderful!
全員の監視の中、突然床に手紙が現れる。
Within everyone's sight, a letter would suddenly appear on the floor!
食堂という密室に忽然とその場の誰も触れていないという赤を維持したまま。
And that wouldn't even violate a red truce, saying no one in the closing room of the dining hall touched the letter unexpectedly!
お見事です。
Well done.
配膳者の下部に手紙を貼り付ける行為なら誰が犯人でも可能です。
Hello, Alexander, and Mediocrit. Welcome to the stream, Alexander. I haven't seen you here before. Oh my god, thank you so much for joining us. If the letter was stuck to the bottom of the serving cart, then anyone could be the culprit.
手紙についてはまずね。
That might work okay regarding the letter.
でもそれと同じ論法がロックについても通用するかしら。
However, will that same type of argument apply to the knock as well?
じゃあもう一度同じやりとりをしようかしら。
Let's try this again, shall we?
どうぞ。
Please, go ahead.
クラウス、ナツヒ、ゲンジの3人はノックをしていない。
Neither Kraus nor Natsuhi nor Genji knocked.
これは扉だけはノックしていないという限定的な意味じゃないわよ。
This isn't the limited meaning of them knocking on the door, okay?
音が伝わる柱だろうと録音したカセットテープの再生ボタンだろうとそのノック音を生み出したことは断じてないという意味。
It means they didn't use a pillar to transmit the sound or push the play button on a cassette tape they've recorded or create that knock sound by any means.
無論直接的にも間接的にも意図的にも偶発的にも無意識的にもね。
Of course, this applies to direct, indirect, coincidental, and unintentional means.
すでにくさびを打ってるけど繰り返すわ。
This wedge has already been knocked in, but I'll repeat it.
クラウス、ナツヒ、ゲンジたち3人以外の誰かがノック。
Maybe someone other than Kraus, Natsuhi, or Genji made that knock.
あるいはノックと誤認させる音を発生させたのかもしれない。
Hello, Nagels. Welcome to the stream. Or else a sound that could be misidentified as a knock.
近家、謹んで申し上げ立てまつる。
Please, allow me to speak!
24時の時点で2階廊下にいたクラウス、ナツヒ、ゲンジの3人と
Let it be known that at 24 o'clock, excepting Kraus, Natsuhi, and Genji in the second floor, corridor, and all the people in the dining hall,
食堂にいた全員以外の一切の人間は屋敷内に存在しなかった旨
No.
申し上げ立てまつる。
God damn it. Goddamn pauses. No humans existed inside the mansion!
近家謹んで申し上げる。
Please, allow me to speak.
クラウス、ナツヒ、ゲンジの3人に加え食堂の全員もまたノックしていないこと申し上げる。
Let it be known that in addition to Kraus, Natsuhi, and Genji, none of those in the dining hall knocked on that door.
このノックとはノック音を生み出す直接的、間接的、意図的、無意識的、偶発的な全てを含めるものなり。
In this sense, knock includes all direct, indirect, intentional, unintentional, and coincidental events that could create a knocking sound. Wow. Jesus Christ. That's a big one. Holy shit. A direct knock refers to someone literally hitting a door to make a knocking sound. An intentional knock refers to someone creating a fake knocking sound to try and make it appear that someone knocked. An unintentional knock refers to someone unintentionally creating a fake knocking sound. You know what? I'm going to change the title of this video because I thought there was a title I wanted to use that was so perfect that I want to save this one for another video. Because this one was so perfect. As soon as Dlanor was introduced, I wanted to use it at some point, and this one works perfectly. So, you know what? I really want to, I'm sorry, you guys. I had to make this pun. I had to. Oh, thank you, Alexander. Hello, Cutie Pie. Welcome to the stream. Oh, and another Alexander. Hello, Alexander Riley. Got a lot of Alexanders here today. An unintentional knock refers to someone unintentionally creating a fake knocking sound. A coincidental knock refers to some kind of coincidence creating a fake knocking sound.
つまり屋敷にいた人物全員がノックオンの発生源とはなり得ないという意味です。
In short, this means it was impossible for any character within the mansion to be the source of a knocking sound.
そしてこの全員とは誰も把握していない観測されていない人物であったとしても含みます。
And any character refers to even unobserved people that no one has noticed. Anyone who was in the mansion would also include any unknown person X who had snuck into the mansion. Therefore, it literally meant it was impossible for anyone inside the mansion to knock. With no wordplay allowed. Damn. Huh.
なるほど。
Okay, this is a toughie. Then who in the world? Jeez.
I see.
どうひっくり返そうとも、いわゆるゲストハウス組にしかノックオンの生成は不可能というわけですね。
No matter how much I toy with it, it's impossible for anyone except those in the guest house group to create the knocking sound, right?
例えば私、
Like me, for example.
このフルドエリカがカセットテープにノックオンを録音し、
But if I, Furuta Erica, recorded a knocking sound on a cassette tape,
それをどこかにこっそり仕掛け、ちょうど24時頃に再生されるような仕掛けを施したなら、
and used some kind of secret contraption to start it playing at exactly midnight.
もちろん24時の時点では屋敷にはいないわけです。
Of course, I wasn't in the mansion at midnight.
これなら何も問題ないじゃないですか。
There aren't any problems with this, are there?
問題ないです。
No
し
problems.
かし扉の前に手紙があればこそノックがその存在を教えるきっかけとなりますが。
However, though the knock did serve as a way of informing them about the letter on the other side of the
も
door,
し厨房などに手紙が落下していたらノックは手紙の存在を教えるものにはならなかったように思います。
I do not think it would have worked if the letter had fallen elsewhere. If the trick in Erica's theory about the letter being stuck to the servant cart was accurate, then the location that the letter fell was a matter of luck. Because it had fortunately fallen near the door, the people in the dining hall noticed it due to the knock. However, if the location it fell was a matter of chance, He might have landed in the far-off kitchen or remained stuck even after they entered. If that had happened, the knock would have been ignored as though they just imagined it. In other words, the knock by itself wouldn't transmit any message at all. It only made it appear as though someone had been there because it was paired with the letter. In that case, the random location the letter fell to off the bottom of the serving cart couldn't be connected with the knock. For the letter to be found thanks to the knock, it would have to be reliably positioned on the other side of the door. However, it was announced in red that no one in the mansion placed that letter in the hallway.
この廊下に置いたという赤ももっと細かく言い直すわ。
I'll reword that red about placing it in the corridor a bit.
屋敷内の誰一人手紙を廊下に置いた者はいない。
No one in the mansion placed the letter in the hallway.
それは直接的、間接的、意図的、偶発的、無意識的、すべての概念だよ。
This includes doing so by all concepts, such as directly, indirectly, intentionally, coincidentally, and unintentionally.
例えば、配膳車に停車すると手紙が落ちるという仕掛けがあったと仮定する。
For example, let's assume that there was a device on the serving cart that drops the letter when it stops moving.
これならば、食堂の扉でノックするために一度停車するだろうことが事前に予見できるから。
Oh wait, that's totally fine. You go to bed. It's your birthday. Seriously, you go to bed, okay? Seriously. Hello, Kletos. Welcome to the stream.
In this case, you'd think they could predict the cart would probably stop just once the two knocked on the door to the dining hall.
うまいこと扉の前に手紙を落とせるように思えるかもしれない。
And by doing so, they'd be cleverly making it so the letter drops right in front of the door.
しかしこれもダメなのよ。
But even this doesn't work, okay?
配膳車を停車させることが廊下に手紙を置くという行為を間接的に示してる。
The action of stopping the serving cart would indirectly lead to placing the letter in the hallway.
よってこれでは台車を押していたシャノンとカノンが間接的に無意識に置いたことになってしまう。
That would mean that Shannon and Cannon, who were pushing the cart, had indirectly and unintentionally placed the letter
だ
there.
からこれもダメ。
So even this is no good.
さらに言うと時間が経てば剥がれて落ちる仕掛けも。
Furthermore, setting it up so that the letter peeled off with the passage of time
そこまで配膳車を押した人間によって偶発的に無意識に置いたことになってしまう。
would mean that the people pushing the serving cart had coincidentally and unintentionally placed the letter there.
もちろんこれもダメ。
Of course, this is also no good.
復唱要求
Repeat it.
24時の時点で屋敷以外に存在するのはエリカ、ジョージ、ジェシカ、マリア、南條、ゴーダ、熊沢のみである。
At 24 o'clock, only Jessica, George, Jessica, Maria, Nanjo, Goda, and Kumasawa existed outside the mansion. What if someone in the dining hall didn't exist inside in the mansion right at midnight? For example, what if they'd slipped out just at a window just before? With this wordplay, it might be possible to get around the red truth.
復唱要求？
Repeat it.
気前よく赤をサービスしてるからってちょっと欲張りすぎじゃない？
Even though I'm nice enough to give you all this red for free, aren't you being a bit greedy?
私ベアトみたいにバカじゃないから
I'm an idiot like Beato.
相手の求める復唱にペラペラ答えたりなんかしないわよ。
So I won't go around saying everything my opponent tells me to repeat.
今度お風呂で マシュマロとコンペイトーのスクラブで全身マッサージしてあげるわ。
I'll give you a full body massage and a bath with marshmallows on Competo sometime soon.
Ah! That's not fair! Sexual favors don't count!
生皮はげるくらいにゴリゴリと。
Enough to rub your skin off.
絶対よ、約束だからね、ジュルリ。
Ah! No! You've got to keep that promise! Ah.
じゃあいいわ、サービスしちゃう。
Okay then, here's a freebie!
副賞要求に答えるわ。
I'll respond! Yep, definitely!
24時の時点で屋敷以外に存在するのはエリカ、ジョージ、ジェシカ、マリア、南條、ゴーダ、熊沢のみである。
At 24 o'clock, only Erica, George, Jessica, Maria, Nanjo, Goda, and Kumasawa existed outside the mansion!
In other words, no matter how much they struggled, those 8 people, including Erica, could not have existed inside the mansion, much less in front of the door. And at the same time, no matter how much they struggled, those inside the mansion could not have existed outside the mansion. See, Battler, imagine how far you could have gone, Battler, if you had done something similar. Seriously. You know Beato would have liked it.
なら配膳車ではなく廊下の天井に手紙を貼り付けてあったのかもしれません。
In that case, the letter might have been stuck to the ceiling of the hallway instead of the serving cart.
廊下の天井は案外高いから堂々と貼り付けてあっても誰も気づかないかもしれない。
The ceiling of the hallway is surprisingly high, so even if you just stuck it there out in the open, maybe no one would notice it.
これなら廊下に落ちるのは確定的。
This way, it would certainly fall into the corridor.
そしてそれを屋敷外の人物が行ったなら赤も潜れる。
And you can slip by the rat if someone outside the mansion did this.
グッと私
Good job, me!
金慶謹んで申し上げる。
Please allow me to
廊
speak.
下天井に手紙が存在したことはなきなり。
The letter never existed on the ceiling of the hallway.
金慶謹んで申し上げる。
Please allow me to speak.
配膳者に手紙が触れたことはなきと知りたまえ。
Know that the letter never touched the serving cart.
知らないです、そんなこと。
Who cares about that?
とにかく屋敷以外の人間が何かのトリックであそこに手紙を置いてみせたんです。
Anyway, some human outside the mansion used some kind of trick to place the letter there.
あの手紙とノックでベアトリーチェを存在させようなどという目論みはこのフルドエリカには断じて通用しません。
If you try to use that letter in the knock to argue that Beatrice exists, it definitely won't work on Perudo Erica!
金慶謹んで申し上げる。
Please allow me to speak.
屋敷以外の全員は親族会議開始後屋敷内にて何を行うことも不可能になる。
It was impossible for anyone outside the mansion to influence anything inside the mansion after the family conference began.
じゃあ親族会議以前に屋敷以外の何者かが何らかの仕掛けを施したのよ。
That someone outside the mansion set up some kind of device for the family conference!
天井と配膳者以外でです。
Some way something other than the ceiling of the serving cart!
金慶青き真実無効なりや。
Allow me to speak. Blue truth invalid.
なんでですか。
Why?
それしかないでしょ。
That's the only way, right?
天井と配膳者以外の何かに屋敷以外の誰かが何か仕掛けをしたのよ。
Someone outside the mansion used some kind of device other than the ceiling or the serving cart!
金慶
Allow me to speak.
その何かを特定もしくは仮定せぬ限り青き真実とは認められぬものなり。
Unless you can specify or theorize as to what that something might be, your blue truth will not be acknowledged.
金系
Allow me to
手
speak.
紙についてのエリカ教の青き真実は全て失われたものなり
All of Lady Erica's blue truths regarding the letter have been lost. Ah!
全て失われた
They've all been lost, you say?
言い方にもう少し気を使ってください。使えない家具の皆さん、
Watch your tongues a bit more, useless furniture!
その仕掛けを思いつきさえすれば即座にチェックメイトなんです。
If I could just think of that device, it's an instant checkmate!
それを全て失われた
What do you mean?
真実は無効
Goddamn pauses. What do you mean, all of them? What do you mean my blue truth isn't valid? Are you saying I'm incompetent?
この探偵フルドエリカによくもそんな口を
How dare you say such a thing to me, the detective, for whom Erica, the greatest human being to ever live! Erica's face twisted. These words that seemed to deny Erica, no Erica's reasoning, were the worst form of torture and humiliation for her.
ミスエリカ
Hello, Olive. Welcome to the stream. Miss Erica,
手紙の謎は一度保留してはいかがです
why don't we postpone the riddle of the letter for now?
ノックの推理屋敷以外の何者かがカセットテープなどで聞かせたとする青きくさびは未だに有効です
Your blue stake about someone outside the mansion playing it with a cassette tape is still valid.
音が可能なら手紙もまた不可能ではないはず
If it was possible for a sound, then perhaps it wasn't impossible for a letter as well. As Erica made to grab and pull Gertrude's hair, Dlanor stopped her with these words.
そうです。ノックについては私の青き真実未だ有効なはずです。
Ah! That's right! My blue truth regarding the look is still valid!
全てを否定されてなんていません。
It's not true that everything's been denied! Right? Right?
我が主、手紙の謎は必ずや解いてみせます。
My master! I will solve the riddle of the letter without fail!
お時間の猶予をお許しください。
Please allow me to postpone that for now, please!
しかし、ノックの謎については確かにここに。
However, I will definitely figure out the riddle of the knock here!
屋敷以外の人物がカセットテープなどでノック音を聞かせる仕掛けを施したとする青きくさびでうがちました。
I picture with the blue stake that someone outside the mansion set things up with a cassette tape or something to make a knock sound play!
本当に可愛い子ね、ペルンのコマは。
You really are a cute kid, piece of bones.
本当にけなげだわ。
Lots of spunk.
とりあえず2つの謎のうち1つは高3だけど1つは解けたからお許しをって叫んでる。
Anyway, Erica's yelling that you forgive her because you solved one of the two riddles, even though she resigned on the other.
どうする？許してあげる？
So, will you forgive her?
そうね。
Sure.
私の駒の分際で高3なんて恥さらし絶対に許せないところだけれど。
Normally, I'd never forgive my own piece for the shame of surrendering.
一つは解いてみせたのなら今回は多めに見てあげようかしら。
But if you managed to solve one of the riddles, I guess I'll let it slide for now.
我が主。
My master! When Burncastle said she'd let it slide, Erica couldn't hide her relief.
じゃあお仕置きだわ、エリカちゃん。
Then it's time to get punished, Erica-chan.
すべての人物はノック音を誤認することはない。
None of the characters misidentified a knocking sound.
へえ
Oh.
何それ
What's that supposed to mean?
ノック音を誤認しないということはつまり
Misidentifying a knocking sound means this.
ノック音によく似た他の音をノック音と勘違いしたりはしないということよ。
They would not mistake a sound very similar to a knocking sound for a real knocking sound.
柱を叩くとノックに似た音がするなんてのもアウト。
Hitting a pillar to make something similar to a knocking sound is no good.
ノック音をカセットテープに録音したとしてもそれはもはやノック音を録音したテープの音であってノック音ではない。
When you record a knocking sound on a cassette tape and play it back, it becomes the sound of a tape with a knocking sound on it, and not an actual knocking sound. I am being very specific here.
だからこれもアウト。
So that's no good either.
つまり実際にあの扉を叩いたノック音を全員は正確に識別し
In other words, every one of them would correctly recognize a knocking sound as something truly hitting the door.
絶対に聞き間違いないということよ。
And they definitely wouldn't mishear it.
あの扉を直接叩く以外のあらゆる音をノックと誤解することは絶対にありえないということ。
Holy shit, that is brutal! What the fuck?
It's totally impossible that any sounds except hitting that door directly would be misinterpreted as a knock.
そんな
What the?
でもそれじゃあの24時の鐘の音の時扉を叩ける人物が
But that means at the time of the bell sounding 24 o'clock went off!
存在しないことになるじゃありませんか
No one existed who could have hit the door!
そうよ存在しないわよ。
Yup, they don't exist.
だって黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェが叩いたんだもの。
After all, the Golden Witch Beatrice hit it.
つまりあの扉を叩く以外ごまかしようはないってことね。
So in other words, there's no way to make it work unless you actually hit the door.
ならこういうのはどう？
So, what about this?
扉をノックしてくれる何かの仕掛けとか
There was some kind of device that could knock on the door.
自動のドアノッカーみたいな仕掛けがあってそれによって手を触れずにノックすることができたとか
There was something like an automatic door knocker, and that made it possible to knock without touching the door with your hands.
ノックは人が手で扉を叩くものよ。
My god! I was definitely right to change the title of this video. Because we have been talking about door knocking and knocks of two very different kinds for a long time now.
To knock means something hitting a door with their hand. Someone hitting the door with their hand, right?
仕掛けで叩いたなんて認めないわ。
I won't accept hitting it with some device.
24時の鐘の時にノックが聞こえたわ。
They heard a knock at the same time as the 24 o'clock bell.
その時食堂の人物全員が確かにそれを聞いたわ。
At that time, everyone inside the dining hall definitely heard it.
そして彼らは誰もノック音を誤認しない。
And none of them misinterpreted a knocking sound.
クラウス、ナツヒ、ゲンジの3人はノックに関わっていない。
Kraus, Natsuhi, and Genji were not involved with the making of a knocking sound.
それ以外の人物は誰も屋敷内に存在もしない。
No one else existed inside the mansion.
そしてノックは直接扉の前に立ち手で扉を叩く行為を指す。
A knock refers to the action of standing directly in front of a door and hitting it with a hand.
ねえデル
Hey, Birdie Bones!
どう私の赤は。
What do you think of my red? Huh? Does it make you hot?
まだ第一の晩以前なのになかなかシンプルで遊びがいがあるでしょ。
Don't you think this is pretty simple and enjoyable? Just by being before the first twilight.
黄金の魔女はノックの音とともに静かに降臨。
The golden witch made a graceful appearance with a knocking sound.
Ugh.
面白いわ。本当に面白いわ、ラムダ。
Interesting. This is really riveting, Lambda.
そうでなくっちゃ。
Wouldn't have it any other way.
ああ、面白い。
Yes, how amusing. The two witches doubled over laughing, as though this was the most fun thing in the world. It is fun. My master!
ご安心よ。
Don't worry!
その程度の赤、我が灰色の脳細胞は時間さえ与えられれば必ずや答えを導き出してみせます。
Hello, Zakuto. Welcome to the stream. If you just give my little gray self some time, I will definitely reach an answer to this pitiful red!
あんたなんて所詮は子が
You're nothing but a lowly piece.
いてもいなくても私がゲームを進めるには支障がないのだから。
Your absence wouldn't hinder my progress in this game in the slightest.
特に推理が思いつかないならおとなしく駒置き場にでも戻って埃をかぶっててちょうだ。
If you can't think of any theories in particular, please just go back to the peace tray and gather dust or something.
使えない駒は記憶に留めるのも苦痛だわ。
Useless pieces are painful even to remember.
ベルンは忘れっぽいからね。
After all, Burns pretty forgetful, especially 24 hours after she dies.
あんた、もうちょっと頑張らないとベルンに忘れられちゃうわよ。
If you don't try a little harder, Burns gonna forget you, okay?
忘却の駒置き場で永遠に埃にまみれながら決して来ぬ出番を待つのって。
You'll collect dust in that forgotten peace tray, awaiting your turn that'll never come.
とっても辛いと思うけれど。
I'd imagine that'd be pretty harsh, don't you think? To be just willed out of existence forever.
ご安心よ。ダイラムタデルタ教、そして我が主。
Don't worry, Lady Lambda Delta and my master!
必ずやお気に入りいただくことができるよう二度と失望させぬ活躍を約束いたします。
I promise I'll keep you entertained and never let you down again!
あら、さすがは私の分身ね。頼もしいわ。
Oh, how reassuring. I guess you're my double after all.
なら本当に頑張ってね。いろいろと。
Then make sure you really are giving it your all. In more ways than one.
あまり活躍がないと私、あなたのこと忘れちゃうかもしれないんだから。
If you don't make an impact, I might forget all about you. As the two witches giggled, they continued discussing the letter and the knock. There was no room for Erica to step in. If she contented herself with that, she would literally have no place to go, and we would be buried in eternal oblivion. Erica endured this with a hideous expression, looking with shame at the back of the master who ignored her. And with both fists clenched, she thought frantically in search of some kind of breakthrough. I am the detective! I am Faruno Erica! I am the peace and devil and servant of the great Lady Birdcastle! I'll definitely make her satisfied! Satisfied! Definitely! Ah! Usurping a bachelor! How dare you! You As she stood there, ignored by the witches and shrouded in darkness, it looked like someone had told her to go stand all alone in the hallway. Seriously, that is Erica's best face. Absolutely. With the crime in the early morning, we'd completely forgotten about breakfast. So we now had our first meal of the day at a time that could never be called breakfast time. Hello, Robert. Welcome to the stream. Even Goda-san's wonderful meal, which had supposedly been in the works yesterday, provided no comfort. The several empty seats quietly burdened us with a pain-filled sadness. Then, in the middle of this meal that felt like a vigil, Erica suddenly stood up. Everyone focused on her to see what was the matter. Her expression was somewhere between relief and insanity, as though she'd made some groundbreaking and strange discovery.
Hey, what's up? You okay?
I've got it! I've got it! Did you think I wouldn't understand? Yes, I've got it! There's no way something that stupid could happen! With a hideous expression covered in cold sweat, Erica glared and lashed out at Battler.
What do you get?
There's no way you jumped out from the third floor study! Not one of us saw you fall down and land in the courtyard! When you set up the ladder for the courtyard and saw Rudolph go up into the third-story window! You closely observed the construction of the outer wall and realized that by cleverly using a rain gutter, it might be possible to go down to the courtyard from the third floor window! Hello, Marvin. Welcome to the stream. You didn't jump down! You used a rain gutter or something and clumsily wriggled down the outer wall! What do you think of my blue truth? Come on, what's your counter-argument?
My counter-argument?
You don't have a counter-argument? Then my truth is valid, right? I'm valid? I mean, my truth is valid! Hey, did you see that? Did you see that burn? I'm useful, right? Please don't kill me! Trying to look cool and making it look like you jumped out was all an illusion! You just jumped out and latched onto a rain gutter!
Are you okay? My argument then was about whether it was possible for grandfather to escape from the study, right? And it was possible for grandfather to escape through the window. All I did was prove that. Whether I jump down or crawl down, that doesn't change anything, does it? You feeling okay?
はぐらかさないでください。
Don't try and change the subject!
人間風情が3階から飛び降りられるはずがないんです。
A mere human can't jump down from the third floor!
それ見たことか。それ見たことか。
Did you see that? Did you see that? Oh, please, please don't kill me!
いかがです？我が主、我が推理。
What do you think of my reasoning, my master?
お前疲れてんのか？
Are you tired or something? Who are you even talking to? There's no camera over there or anything.
飯くらい落ち着いて食えよ。
Just calm down and eat some food.
When he escaped to the courtyard through the window, Battler really did use the rain gutter to crawl down the wall, just like Erica said. His hand slipped halfway, and he had fallen from a considerable height, but he had managed to land on his feet. That's still pretty impressive. No one had witnessed this, but most likely everyone in the dining hall, now except Erica, realized that something like this had happened. Since the very beginning, no one had believed that he'd jumped down from the third floor window, even if they hadn't witnessed that directly. So they had no clue what Erica was complaining about all of a sudden. And started to whisper, staring at her with cold eyes and dubious faces.
反論できないでしょ。
You can't counter that, can you?
あなたの飛び降りは否定された。
Your jumping down has already been denied!
私の真実が勝ったんです。
My truth is one! I am the greatest detective who ever lived!
私の青き真実は有効です。
My true blue truth is valid!
我が主、それをどうかお認めください。
My master! Please acknowledge this!
私は無能ではありません。失望もさせません。
I'm not incompetent or a disappointment!
必ずやこのようにご期待に応えてみせますから、どうかお見捨てにならないでください。我が主。
I will match up to your expectations without fail, so please don't abandon me, my master!
And then, Berncastle's like, hello, this is Berncastle. I can't come to the phone right now. I'm currently doing some insane sexual shit with Lambda, so please, don't leave a message. I don't want to talk to you right now. Peace. Facing someone that might have been somewhere beyond the ceiling, Erica spread her arms and yelled. Then, as if in answer, a massive lightning bolt landed very close by. It was an incredible sound. They could even feel the earth shake. At the same time as that sound, Erica went limp and fell into her seat, like a puppet who just had all its strings cut. Then, as the sound of wind and rain slowly filled the room once again, Erica slowly opened her eyes as though recovering from a bout of dizziness. Then she continued eating in silence as though nothing had happened, as she had been acting normally the whole time. Didn't Erica just stand up and suddenly yell something strange at someone? Automatically, enough to make one doubt their eyes, Erica continued eating quietly, as though everything was perfectly normal. When they saw how ordinary she looked, everyone convinced themselves that they were totally worn out, and that they must have just seen some illusion of Erica suddenly yelling. So Erica's sudden transfiguration of a few seconds ago was treated as a daydream, and faded out of everyone's memories. Erica quietly poked at her salad, and muttered in a voice no one could hear. I'm sorry, I'm poor master. No,
Castle.
ありがとうございます。タイベルカステル卿。
Thank you very much, Great Lady Bruncastle!
我こそはフルダエリカ。
I am Verudo Erica!
我が主の駒にして分身。
I am my master's piece and her double!
必ずやあなたのために最高の物語を献上してご覧に入れます。
I will most certainly present you with an incredible tale!
そうそう。やっぱりナイフとフォークって食器として原始的ですよね。
That's right. When it comes to utensils, knives and forks are pretty primitive.
お箸が一番です。
Chopsticks are the best.
サラダを最も食べやすいのはお箸だとは思いませんか？
Don't you think chopsticks are the easiest way to eat salad?
ね、皆さん。
Well, everyone. Huh?
Oh my god. It's having some nice lighthearted comedy scenes and some interesting detective scenes there before the second twilight.
午前3時にバトラさんがゲストハウスに戻られて。
See.
But the sun has returned to the guest house at 3 a.m.
その後30分くらいで皆さんも解散されたんですね。
Then the rest of you split up about 30 minutes later, right?
そうよ。
Yes, that's right.
いい加減眠くなってきて。
Drowsiness was finally starting to catch up to us.
一眠りしてから仕切り直そうってことになったのよ。
Okay, so the thing is, I don't want to have too many short streams because it's only been 2 hours. I do want to read this chapter. We'll see how far we get into this chapter because I'm feeling really awake and everything. As for that super chapter, we'll deal with it. We definitely won't get into that one after this, but I would like to do this chapter. I'm feeling really awake, so I'm not tired in the least. We decided to take a short rest and then start up again. Hello, Sailor Moon. To smoke out the murder of the first twilight, Erica so closely questioned everyone involved to check their alibis and evidence. To confirm these, she went around the mansion with them, and when needed, took several trips out to the guest house through all the rain. Oh, sorry, Marvin. Jeez. Her vitality was impressive. Though she was an uninvited guest, everyone had long since stopped feeling anything strange about the way she played the detective. Eva is like halfway between my voice and my Beatrice voice when I use.
It seems Erica is also steadily building her foundation.
無駄なことよ。
Oh, thank you, apparition. Well, okay. Have a good time at work. It's useless.
アリバイがあろうとなかろうと、わらわたちの存在を否定することなどできぬわ。
Whether alibis exist or not, she can't deny our existence.
金蔵は窓より逃れ、今や六軒島の霞よ。
Kinzo escaped through the window and is now one with the mists of Rokunjima.
決して捉えることも否定することもできぬ。
she most certainly won't be able to capture or deny him.
さしずめチェス盤の裏側にでも逃げ込んだ
When
とでも
all's
言えばいいのかしら
goddamn pauses. When all's said and done, perhaps you could say he's escaped to the underside of the chessboard, honey.
その場合はしまい込んだというのが適当でしょうな。
In that case, maybe it would be appropriate to say he's been stowed away.
そういえば例の第一の晩の死体
Come to think of it, about those corpses from the first twilight.
同じくしまい込んだのであったな
They've been stowed away too, right?
え
Yes.
え異界と人間界の狭間の私の暗黒にしまってあるわ
They've been put away in my darkness, which lies between this world and the next.
あの探偵気取りに見つけられることはあるまいな
And that detective wannabe won't be able to find them.
当然よ
Of course she won't.
人間には絶対不可能だわ
It'd be definitely impossible for a human.
確認する
Wanna check?
念のためな
Just in case.
そしてわらわたちも今後のベルンカステル教の狙いを今一度読み直す必要があろう
And we also need to re-examine what Lady Berncastle's goals will be from now on.
敵を知れば百戦も危うからずですな。
If you know your enemy, you need not fear the outcome of 100 battles.
真に知れば百戦も戦わずに勝てるわ
If you know the truth, you can win 100 battles without fighting.
いやいや、全く。
My, my. Gop opened up a large hole in the sky and had it swallow all of them up. She invited Beato and Renove to the gap between worlds, where she had hidden the corpses. I might be able to get an early start for that chapter, for that mega chapter. So who knows? I might be able to do a 6-hour stream. Who knows? If I can get an early start. So we'll see how I feel after this one. She invited Beato and Renove to the gap between worlds, where she had hidden the corpses. That place was nowhere in this world, and existed at no time of this world. In other words, it truly and literally was a place not of this world. In this place, questions such as where is this and what time is it have no meaning. Every single place led to here, but no place could be reached from here. Furthermore, all times connected to this place, but no time could be passed from here. In short, this place was just what they said it was, the underside of the chessboard. No, perhaps it would be most appropriate to call this the captured pile, where pieces that have left the game go. Then, through the pitch-black world, a glow like a faint spotlight shone, and 5 corpses came into view. The 5 pitiable corpses with their necks sliced open had been arranged neatly. Their eyelids were shut and their hands joined. Apparently, even Gop had respect for the dead.
おや
Oh my.
今回のゲームの第一の番の犠牲者は5人なのですか
There are 5 sacrifices for the first twilight in this game.
6人ではなく
Not 6.
おお、お師匠様ではないか
Oh, it's you, teacher.
どこへ行っていたやら心配したのだぞ
I was worried about where you'd gone.
ゲームはもう第一の番を迎えてご覧の通り最初の犠牲者が出ておるわ
The game has already reached the first twilight, and as you now see, the first victims have appeared.
さあいよいよだ
So it's finally time. I'm getting all excited.
そうですか。
I see.
ここのあなたは元気そうですね。
The you that is here looks to be in high spirits.
何よりです。
I'm pleased.
お
Huh?
わらわは元気と魅惑なボディ。
I've got high spirits and a captivating body.
あと気立ての良さくらいしか取り柄がないぞ。
Add in my charming disposition, and you've got my only strong points. For some reason, Virgilia praised Beato for being in high spirits. Though Beato was taken aback at such granny-like words coming out of Virgilia's mouth all of a sudden, she pounded her chest and answered. Virgilia had been absent often during this game. She might have even been absent when Battler solved the epitaph, as well as during the uproar that followed. Apparently she'd been absent for so many critical points that she didn't really understand much about what had happened so far in this game.
今のところ出ている死体は5人。
Right now, 5 corpses have appeared.
見ての通り、首をすっぱりよ。
As you can see, their necks have been slit, honey. George, Jessica, Maria, Rosa, Genji. All 5 of them have had their necks sliced open by something sharp. The wound opened wider than their mouths. Virgilia knows that this is not the real Beatrice. That's depressing. It's just a piece copy made by Lambda. The wound opened wider than their mouths and made it feel as though they'd no longer need their mouths to breathe.
なるほど。
I see.
ジョージ、ジェシカ、マリア、ローザ、ゲンジの死体は誰が見ても一目で死亡が確認できるというわけですね。
So anyone looking at George, Jessica, Maria, Rosa, or Genji's corpses could confirm at a glance that they are dead. Huh?
赤か。
Red.
まあ、お師匠様にケチっても始まらぬ。
Well, there's no point in me holding out against you.
そう、死んだふりなど絶対にありえぬ。誰もが一目で死亡を確認できる死体であるわ。
And that's right. At a glance, anyone could confirm that these corpses are dead. So it's absolutely impossible that they're just playing dead.
なぜリーヤは赤を？
Why did Leah use the red?
さて、
Who knows?
しかし常にお嬢様のことを思われている方です。
However, she is always thinking of what's best for Milady.
お嬢様に利する何らかのお考えがあってのことでしょう。
She probably has some idea in mind that will benefit her. Huh. But they'd hid the corpses here, specifically so that no one would be able to use the red. However, Renove was right. Virgilia always thought of Beatrice first. Aww. A slightly displeased expression rose to Gop's face. Hey Totally, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. As she saw that the corpses that she'd gone to such lengths to hide had now been confirmed dead in red. However, in the end, she remembered that she was only a guest and shrugged.
なぜガープに死体を隠させたのですか？
Why did you have Garp hide the corpses? As to that,
今回のわらわのゲームはすでに碑文が解かれているため普段とは変わっておる。
since the epitaph has already been solved, this game of mine is different from usual.
今は夏日に仕え、夏日を守ることを目的にしているのだ。
I now have serving and protecting Natsuhi as my goal.
彼らの死体を隠蔽することがどう夏日を守るのです？
How would concealing their corpses protect Natsuhi?
向こうの手は大体読めてるの。
We've more or less figured out what our opponent's moves will be, honey.
多分これは夏日を追い詰めるための罠。
This is probably a trap meant to corner Natsuhi.
おそらく第一の番のアリバイを突き詰めていくと、夏日以外の全員にアリバイが現れるのよ。
Most likely, they'll sort through the alibis of the first twilight and find them for everyone except her.
夏日様は昨べは最初に親族会議を抜けられ、その後はお部屋で一人でお休みでした。
Last night, Natsuhi-sama was the first to leave the family conference, and then rested alone in her room.
お気の毒なことに朝までアリバイが全くありません。
Unfortunately, she has no alibi whatsoever until the next morning.
金蔵の存在はすでに否定不能とした。
We've already made Kinzo's existence impossible to deny.
しかし一つだけ、それを打ち破る手が敵に残されている。
However, there was a single move remaining to our enemy that might cancel that out.
なるほど。
I see.
夏日を追い詰め、金蔵は存在しないと自白させるわけですね。
So they'll corner Natsuhi and make her confess that Kinzo doesn't exist. Indeed.
敵の狙いはおそらくそんなあたりよ。
The enemy is probably after something like that.
親族会議をめぐる駒たちの動きから、わらわたちはいち早く夏日の孤立を察知し、
By watching the movements of the pieces involved with the family conference, we quickly realized that Natsuhi was isolated.
その罠に気づき、こうして手を打ったのだ。
Notice that trap of theirs. And countered with this move.
死体が消える。
The corpses disappear.
全員にアリバイがあり、運搬者は存在しない。
Everyone has alibis, and no one exists who could have moved them.
魔女の存在を主張しつつ、同時に死亡説自体にも疑問を投じることで、
Not only does this support the claim that a witch exists. Hello T, welcome to the stream.
夏日をギリギリ容疑者から逃すことができるわけ。
It also throws doubt on whether they were actually corpses in the first place, just barely allowing Natsuhi to escape being a suspect.
つまり夏日様は第一の番の犠牲者だ。
In other words, it's possible for Natsuhi-sama
実は死んだふりだったと主張することが可能ということですな。
to claim that the sacrifices of the first twilight were only playing dead.
いとこ部屋で大勢がその死を確実に確認しているにもかかわらずですか？
You mean even though many people confirmed their deaths without fail in the cousin room?
確認など赤き真実に到底及ばぬ。
Mere confirmation of facts doesn't even approach the red truth.
彼らがいくら確かな死亡を見たと主張しようとも、人間界に赤き真実は存在しない。
No matter how much everyone claims to have truly witnessed their deaths, the red truth doesn't exist in the human world.
死体が存在しない以上、夏日は彼らのその言い分を
Because the corpses don't exist.
見間違い、トリック、もしくは彼らが全員嘘をついているなどで
Natsuhi can discount their words as a mistake, some sort of trick, or she can say they were all lying.
いくらでも延々と言い逃れが可能なのだ。
And it's possible for her to do this over and over, to buy time for herself.
赤き真実なき人間界においてはパーペチュアルチェックは最も有効な一手。
In the human world which lacks the red truth, perpetual check is a valid move.
延々と相手を否定し合っての水かけ論。千日手。
An endless argument with both sides denying the other's claims.
美しくないわ。
Not pretty.
ですね。
True.
しかし美しさとは勝利の先に臨むもの。
However, beauty is something to be sought only after victory.
勝利を得ぬ者が欲すれば毒にしかなりません。
When those without victory seek it, it is naught but poison.
勝てば官軍というでな。
Well, they do say might makes right.
私にとっては美しくなくても、
And even if I don't think it's beautiful,
航海者の魔女たちはそれを退屈しないと呼んで好むのかしらね。
those Voyager witches will probably like it and say it isn't boring.
なるほど。
I see.
今回のゲームの流れを把握しました。
I've managed to grasp the flow of this game.
随分といやらしいものになりそうですね。
I imagine it will get quite nasty.
百も承知よ。
We're fully aware of that.
そして私たちはすでに夏日がこれからさらなる罠に誘い込まれるだろうことを知っている。
And we already know that Natsuhi is probably about to be lured into yet another trap, honey.
罠？
A trap?
うん。
Indeed. Oh, thank you, Sarcastic. I try. I try. I honestly really love voicing the characters.
ラムダデルタ教が生み出す19年前の男を名乗る何者かがすでに夏日を脅迫している。
Someone Lady Lambda Delta created, who calls himself a man from 19 years ago, has already threatened Natsuhi.
もうじきの午後1時にとある客室のクローゼットの中に入り息を潜めよと命じているのだ。
She was ordered to go into a closet in a certain guest room in a few minutes at 1 p.m. and hide there.
クラウスを人質に取られ夏日は逆らえん。
Kraus was taken hostage, so Natsuhi can't resist.
なるほ
I see.
ど。必要ですね。
How relentless.
かばいきれますか？
Can you protect her?
無論よ。
Of course.
何しろ夏日は犯人ではないのだからな。
After all, Natsuhi isn't the culprit.
いくら犯人扱いしようとも真実も幻想も我らに味方する。
No matter how much she is treated as the culprit, both the truth and phantoms are on our side.
負ける道理などないわ。
There's no way we'll lose. Natsuhi threw her cup of tea to the ground in protest, expressing the anger that flowed throughout her entire body.
それはどういう意味ですか？
What do you mean by that?
私が疑わしいというのですか？
And now we're back to the beginning. Are you saying you suspect me?
先に抜けられて自室に戻り、朝まで部屋を出なかったというお話は賜りました。
You told me that you left before anyone else, returned to your room, and didn't leave that room until morning.
しかし、それを証明していただかないとアリバイにはならないと申し上げてるのです。
However, if you cannot prove that, it doesn't count as an alibi.
証明？
Prove?
どうやって？
How could I possibly do that?
どうやってでも結構です。
It doesn't matter how.
客観的にあなたには犯行が不可能だったと証明してもらえれば結構なのです。
Objectively speaking, it'll all be fine as long as you prove it was impossible for you to commit the crime.
他の皆さんは協力してくださっています。
Everyone else is cooperating.
夏日さんも
そう邪険にされず、どうかアリバイとその証拠を示してもらいたいと思いまして。
I want you to stop being so hostile and give me your alibi, along with proof.
そうよ。
That's right.
夏日姉さんには丸一晩の空白時間があるのよ。
Almost the whole night is a blank space in time for Natsuhi Nei-san.
先に休むと言って会議を抜け、ゲストハウスへ行き、ジョージたちを襲ったかもしれない。
She might have left the conference, saying she wanted to rest before us, then gone to the guest house and attacked George and the others.
バカなことを言わないでください。
Please don't be such a fool!
どうして私がジョージ君を、そして何より自分の娘を殺さなくてはならないというのですか。
Why would I kill George-kun? And on top of that, my own daughter, Jessica!
落ち着いて。
Oh, calm down, honey.
私たちは等しく疑われてるわ。
We're all equally suspicious.
悲しいけど、潔白の証明は各々がしなくてはならない。
It's sad, but we all have to prove our innocence.
ああ、
Yeah!
俺たちだって疑いを晴らそうと必死に昨夜のアリバイ立証に頭を悩ませてるんだぜ。
We've been thinking frantically how to prove our alibis for last night, so we could clear up that suspicion against us.
夏日さんかて疑われて面白いはずもあらへん。
I know you can't like being suspected, Natsuhi-san.
悔しいと思うなら自分の潔白を証明する何かを探すのが先決とちゃうか。
If it frustrates you, then shouldn't you be at first priority be searching for some way to prove your own innocence?
The relatives spoke as though they were all under equal suspicion, but the mood about the place just didn't feel so peaceful. Erica was still in the middle of confirming all of the facts. But except for Natsuhi, who was uncooperative when it came to proving alibis. Everyone else had an alibi that was reasonably credible. Only Natsuhi, who claimed that even being suspected was an insult, was uncooperative with Erica. And her position began to grow more and more perilous. This parlor was no longer a place of comfort for Natsuhi. And the sound of the cup smashing had made that decisive. That's ridiculous! Oh, why must I be suspected when I've lost a daughter? You're maliciously trying to make me look like the culprit just because I went to bed early last night! I cannot stand this humiliation any further! Oh, so what are you going to do about it? Show us some kind of alibi that proves your innocence. As if you could! Get me George back, murderer!
Stop it, Eva! Natsuhi-san, you're a bit tired too, probably. Same goes for us, of course. Why don't we take it easy for now?
Seriously.
俺たちは少し気を張りすぎで。
We're a little too high strung. Aunt Natsuhi, where are you going?
Hello, Void Dweller. Welcome to the stream. Searching for alibis or the culprit would truly be laughable at this point. When the typhoon passes and the police come, everything will be exposed to the light of day. There's no reason whatsoever for us to play at being detectives. Am I wrong, Erika-san?
Generally speaking, you're right.
私にはそれをする権限がありますので。
However, I do have the authority to do this.
Who gave her that authority? No one asked. It was an authority given by words of power from a higher world, so the pieces weren't even allowed to doubt it.
私は退出します。
I'm leaving.
警察が来るまで皆さんのくだらない問答にも付き合うつもりはありません。
I have no intention of going along with your pointless questioning before the police come.
私を疑うならどうぞご自由に。
If you suspect me, feel free to do so.
それを疑い晴らすことも私は警察に委ねますので。
I'm counting on the police to clear away that suspicion. It may be a bit late to mention this, but then again, I guess this happens every time anyway. As usual, the phone couldn't connect to the police. Natsuhi said that the police would be coming, but that wasn't exactly true. Strictly speaking, the boat would come tomorrow, and they would use the radio on the boat to contact the police. Well, it's not like I'll let everyone live that long anyway. Interesting. Is that, I wonder. Huh. Is this Lambda speaking here?
Ah!
夏日さん、一人になるのは危険だ。
Natsui-san, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
ここにみんなで一緒にいた方が。
Perhaps it would be better if we all stayed here.
いいじゃない。
Why not let her?
それも立派な証明かもよ。
This might make for some very good proof.
これで夏日姉さんが自室で殺されてたりしたら、それも立派な無実の証明だわ。
If Natsuhi Ne-san gets killed in her own room, that'll be excellent proof of her innocence.
よせよ、姉貴。
Quit it, Aneki!
夏日さんも俺たちも少し一服した方がいいだろうよ。
It's probably best if we all get a bit of rest.
明日まで体が持たねえぜ。
Our bodies won't last until tomorrow.
一服はしても油断はせず。いいね。
But if we're going to take a break, we still mustn't let our guards down. Got it, sugar?
明日どころか今夜も越せないかもしれないわ。
We might not make it through the night, much less tomorrow.
夏日おばさん、
Aunt Natsuhi?
部屋へ帰るならしっかり施錠して窓も鎧戸を閉めて安全にしててくれよ。
If you're returning to your room, make sure you lock it tight.
俺は誰も疑いたくない。
Close the windows and shutters too, and stay safe.
そしてそれ以上に
I
これ以上
I don't want to
誰にも犠牲になってほしくない。
Damn it.
I don't want to suspect anyone. And more than that, I don't want there to be any more victims.
ありがとう、バトラ君。
Thank you, Butler-kun.
私は部屋に戻ります。
Then I'll return to my room.
ゴーダ、あとは任せますよ。
Goda, you're in charge now. Much as you fucked things up with that ladder.
お客様にせめてこのような状況ではあってもご不自由をおかけしないように。
I know this is a horrible situation, but see to it that our guests have everything they need.
はい、奥様。
Yes, madam.
心得ております。
I shall do so.
With everyone watching her, Natsuhi left the parlor. From their faces, she could tell that they were expecting the classic mystery pattern. That the first person to quarrel and leave the circle would become the next victim. Natsuhi couldn't disobey because of the threat against Kraus, who had been taken hostage. Very soon it would be that promised time, 1 p.m. She was to hide for an hour in the closet of a specific guest room. It was easy to suspect that this bizarre order was a trap to select her as the next sacrifice. She thought of various ways to resist, but all methods would be useless against a culprit who had a hostage and was observing her from close by. So Natsuhi could do nothing but obediently follow that order. And then claim that she'd been forced to do this for her husband's safety. When the promised time had drawn near, Natsuhi had intentionally acted annoyed and smashed the cup on the ground to give her an excuse for slipping out of the parlor. At any rate, no matter how cowardly a trap it may be, I could not disobey now. I am now the one who carries the burden of the one-winged eagle. Now that my husband Kraus has been captured, I must protect it, even if I have to crawl through the mud. Of course, I am prepared to do so. I am Ushiromiya Natsuhi. Even if I am not permitted to bear the one-winged eagle on my clothes, Father gave me permission to bear it in my heart. I've managed to get this far by plausibly dashing away in a rage. So far, everything has gone well. Before my eyes was the doorknob of the specified guest room. However, I wonder if it's locked. The servants are normally ordered to lock any unused rooms. What will I do if it's locked? I dashed away from the others, pretending I was returning to my room. Popping back and asking a servant to unlock this guest room would be obviously suspicious. If I can, I'd like to get this eerie hide-and-seek over with without anyone noticing. Need that phone call from the one who claimed to be the man from 19 years ago. He said I would win if no one found out, but lose if anyone did. He said my husband would be released whether I won or lost. And as a person with a hostage taken against me, I'd rather not lose. I don't like it at all, but I have to go along with this game. When I softly gripped the doorknob, I could feel that it was unlocked. Did Shannon or Kumasawa forget to lock it after cleaning? Or did that man unlock it in advance? That man couldn't be waiting for me in this room, could he? And then he'll... All that about hide and seek might have been a mere excuse. Oh. I kept the fact that I was coming here secret, and all the others think I'm resting in my room. If I were to be killed in this situation, it might create a new baffling murder case, like the extension of the one that occurred this morning. That might actually turn out for the better. Perhaps this is a good chance to confront the culprit directly. Natsuhi had some experience with using a naginata, though only casually. Oh yeah, because she's a shrine maiden. She was, anyway. Unlike Eva, she couldn't brag about being able to hold off any single ruffian indefinitely. As she was now, She had no realistic chance of challenging a man with malicious intent and winning. She readied herself and slowly opened the door. She couldn't just stand around in the corridor and risk being seen by someone. The atmosphere inside the guest room was frigid, and she could sense no trace of anyone waiting impatiently for her. All she could hear was the unsettling sounds of the winds and rain. At first, this seemed to prove that there was no one here to threaten her, but soon it only made an uneasy feeling rise up inside her, even more strongly than before. The closet was just off to the side of anyone entering the room. Lined up inside it was a set of hangers for coats. This closet, which had nothing hanging in it, was large enough for even an adult to hide in. She softly opened the closet. Of course, there was nothing inside. She would have to hide quietly in here for an hour. The room had a wooden floor, but something like a carpet had been laid in the closet. It seemed sitting down wouldn't be a problem. She had been sure someone would be waiting for her in this room, or that a strange letter would be lying in the closet. In the worst case, she had even imagined that her husband's corpse might be inside there. That's what I thought, too. However, none of the things she'd imagined turned out to be true. The only thing there was a cold guest room. And a lifeless closet that silently urged her to enter. Auntie told me to hide in here for an hour. He's mocking me. Natsuhi shrugged, turned around, and locked and chained the guest room door. This way, no one will be able to get into this room. In other words, no one will be able to find me for the next hour. I win. What a stupid game of hide and seek. This surely must be a total victory in the hide and seek game against that mystery man. However, it was such an easy victory, it made her feel uneasy. Normally, this would be against the rules of hide and seek. Even if she had won, wouldn't this displease the culprit? And now, everyone thought she had returned to her room. If they found a room with a chain set, that would make it an impossible closed room to them. Erica had dashed throughout the mansion to confirm alibis or something. If she noticed that the chain was set on this room, there would probably be an uproar that would end in them cutting the chain and searching the room. If that happened, Natsuhi would be found hiding in the closet right away. It would be easy to honestly confess as to why she'd been hiding. However, that man had insisted that she not reveal that. If she did talk, she might endanger her husband. Thinking of it that way, setting the chain, no, even the lock might be a bad idea. That's right. This room was unlocked when I came here. If it were to suddenly become locked, it's conceivable that it might catch someone's attention. It's better if I don't do anything unnecessary. That man only told me to hide.
So, in the end, I have no choice but to do what he says.
I hate doing it, but I cannot disobey. I undid those 2 precious locks, went into the dimly lit closet filled with the smell of old wood, and managed to close the door from the inside. Pitch black. It reminded me of when I was young, when I used to hide somewhere and then surprise my mother. But that peaceful recollection wasn't enough to kill off my anxiety. It really is pitch black. From here, I won't even be able to check my watch to see if an hour has passed. I'd probably need to open the door a crack every once in a while to let in enough light from my watch. For now, I'll crouch down here. I thought about clutching my knees, but it hurt my back when I tried. The narration keeps switching between Natsuhi and third person. I'm not as young as I used to be. Even though I was made to sit on the floor holding my knees in every PE class as a grade schooler, I now have to struggle just to sit down. Just crouching down here for an hour will probably hurt a lot. I can't believe I'll be hiding in the darkness for a full hour with nothing to hear except the wind and rain. Ironically, Natsuhi had made Jessica do the exact same thing in the past. She had done it when Jessica was a little girl, to scold her for her persistent bad habits and teach her a lesson. She saw that making Jessica stay put in the darkness was part of desire to reflect on her mistakes. Oh God! Jeez, really? A little girl? Oh God. What do I think is going to happen, Joy? Let's see. I think that when Natsuhi opens the door, the corpse of Kraus or somebody is going to appear on her bed. And then everyone's going to burst in. And she's going to really look guilty or something like that. Like, the culprit is going to make it look like she killed Kraus. Or whoever the last victim was. I forgot who it was from the beginning. And that this way, she would understand what she had done wrong. It almost feels like I may be made to do the same thing. If that's the true purpose of this hide and seek. How naive of me. This must be my naivete. They hope that is their goal, is to make me repent. Nothing will happen here during this hour. Uncertainty and fear of that man's shadow are not what I need right now. Will someone suddenly come to this room, open the closet, and do something horrible to me now that I've come here in total secrecy as promised? That is what I should be worrying about. The culprit, or one of his accomplices, is very close by. If they weren't, they wouldn't be able to observe me so thoroughly. I don't want to think it, but it's highly likely that the culprit brought off one of the servants. The culprit had an eerie card with autumn winter written in it on my room. My personal room is always locked. That trick wouldn't have been possible without a key. Instead of believing that they obtained the key when the servants weren't looking, it's much more realistic to assume that one of the servants left the culprit a hand. But how did they know that autumn is my favorite season? How unsettling. As someone pointed out last time, the culprit could have easily left 4 different cards in Natsuhi's room and just pointed out the one that matched the one that she did. The thought that this mystery man might be peeking into my heart sent goosebumps running across my whole body. It's true that I like autumn, but I've never said it out loud. I don't think anyone's ever heard me say it. If I asked even my husband what my favorite season is, he would probably be stumped for an answer. No, just once I told it to a single person. That's right. Oh my god. Oh my god. My theories. Oh my god. Shannon. On an autumn day long ago, I happened to be in a good mood. And I mentioned that autumn was my favorite of the 4 seasons. So the culprit of one of their accomplices has to be Shannon! Hello, Armora. Welcome to the stream. The fact that I like autumn can only be known by Shannon. In that case, this is clear proof that Shannon is involved. That card with autumn on it is proof. Outrageous. Even though she served the family for 10 years. I trembled and shook with rage. Didn't Kinsey once say that anger is the fastest sedative to cure fear and uncertainty? It's easy to tell the most fearful humans from within from a coward. They're always the first to get angry. I remember him telling me that. So I realized that this anger was a sign that I was actually frightened. I tried my best to remain calm. However, this is a vital clue for turning this around. Shannon may not be reliable as a servant, but if she's an accomplice used by that mystery man, this might actually be convenient. A weak-willed girl. If I threatened her, she'll probably spill the name of the mastermind in an instant. I'll secretly tell the police about this. It might become a big clue towards arresting the culprit. That is true, Toy and Zia-san. Yeah, that is true. That card was probably meant to shock me and get me to do what he says.
むしろ墓穴を掘ったようですね。
But he's actually dug his own grave. Natsuhi using a red truth instantly. I never told anyone except Shannon that I like autumn. This is unshakable proof that she's working with the culprit. Though I once thought that this time in the closet would crush me with uncertainty and uneasiness, it's actually given me the start of a counterattack. If I wasn't given this time in the darkness, I probably wouldn't have noticed this. I'm almost grateful to the culprit for making up this foolish game. My mood brightened. I still can't guarantee that my husband is safe, but I'll definitely get him back and force that culprit to face judgment. I clenched my fist tightly and further strengthened my resolve to avoid losing this fight at any cost. Rattle, rattle. At that time, I heard the sudden sound of someone trying to force the locked door open. And my heart leapt.
Oh, it was unlocked.
The voice was Hideyoshi's. I heard that quiet voice, as though he was talking to himself, coming from what was probably the hallway. Apparently, he had thought it was locked and tried to unlock it. But it ended up locking the unlocked door instead. Once again, there was the sound of the lock turning, and now the door opened with a faint sound. Why? Is Hideyoshi-san in this room? Footsteps that sounded like his came in, and there was the sound of him closing and locking the door behind him. Then came what seemed to be the sound of him setting the chain. Don't tell me Hideyoshi-san is the mastermind, or else an accomplice. Is he planning to do something to me in this room? It would take some time to unlock the door from this side. Might just remove the chain. If Hideyoshi-san doesn't intend to let me escape from here, he won't give me enough time to undo the chain. Oh my god, the culprit was Hideyoshi. I mean, not culprit, the victim. Last victim was Hideyoshi, wasn't it? Oh boy. In that case, if he opens the closet door and sees me crouching apathetically, what kind of fearsome words will he say? I don't want to be found. I don't want to be found. I beg you, pass right by the closet door. Please keep going to the center of the room. My heart was filled with a throbbing sound. It was so filled with a throbbing sound that it felt like it was about to explode, and I almost missed hearing his noisy footsteps. So when I heard a clunking sound came from the center of the room, I finally realized that he passed by the closet and was deeply relieved.
Just in case. In this weather, pretty much night out there anyway.
As he whispered, he did something that made a clunking sound. He was probably closing the shutters on the windows. Just in case. In case I try to escape out the window? No, that can't be it. That's right. When I left the parlor, everyone was talking about possibly taking a break. After all, several murders had occurred. And the weather's bad. There'd be nothing abnormal if someone chose to rest in a guest room here instead of returning to the guest house. In that case, locking up and closing the shutters to guarantee safety is the proper course of action to take. When he was finished closing the shutters, there was a thunk, as though he'd flopped over on the bed. It was surprising how much of the situation could be grasped just by that sound. What's going on here? Did the man from 19 years ago plan this all out to put me in the same room as Hideyoshi-san? No, that probably isn't true. He probably planned on me hiding here. But Hideyoshi-san coming to take a rest must have been outside the scope of his plan. Thinking about it that way, having him in the room might be odd, but it also might guarantee my own safety. Unlike his wife, Hideyoshi-san is the kind of person I can talk to. If Eva-san comes, things will probably get complicated. Maybe I should slip out of this closet while he's still alone, reveal everything to it, just him, and ask for help. But if I do that, my husband might be killed. Until my husband is released, I shouldn't do anything rash. Should I go out and talk, or hide in here? Moaning from my headache and biting my lower lip, I resisted the urge to crawl out of here. Even if I talk with Hideyoshi-san, I don't know where my husband is being held. I'm sure the traitor who's observing me is nearby. Just talking to him won't solve anything. I suspect that Shannon is the traitor, but there's no proof that Goda and the others aren't. It's all useless. I guess leaving here and confessing is too dangerous after all. Eventually I heard a strange sobbing voice. Whose voice was it? I strained my ears trying to hear that strange voice, and I was shocked to discover that it was Hideyoshi weeping. Hideyoshi, who had lost his only son, was finally able to shed tears and cry, now that he was all alone like this. Thinking that he needed to support Eva in her distress, he acted as though he alone was standing firm. However, he has a good right to cry, as good a right to cry as anyone. And now that he's found a place where no one can see his tears, he finally let himself do it. And I've lost my daughter. I haven't seen her corpse with my own eyes, so it still doesn't really feel like she's dead. And he has a repulsive motive for doing it. Just thinking about it makes me feel as though my chest will tear itself apart. The reason I'm hiding in here now is that I'm thinking more about my still living husband than my dead daughter. But if I were given the chance, I'd be wailing at the top of my lungs too. However, I still cannot just let myself do that. It isn't because the man from 19 years ago told me to hide. It's because I'm the final head of the Ushirimiya family. It's completely been overshadowed by the recent uproar. But the last night, Battler-kun found the hidden gold and even gained the head's ring from that mysterious envelope. At the very end, very, very end, when it's all over, I probably won't be able to prevent his ascension as the head. Oh, goddamn. This is all Natsuhi's narration, I'm getting confused. And when everything regarding the distribution of the inheritance is revealed, the Ushirimiya family honor and glory passed down from father will plummet to the earth. So, I am the final head. Battler-kun will probably inherit the remaining wealth of the Ushirimiya family. However, its history and honor will all end with my generation. Therefore, I am the final head. I must not cry. Not yet. Until I get my husband back and avenge my daughter, I will not be allowed to shed tears. In the closet, I suddenly hung my head as I listened to Hideyoshi-san's sobs. Oh my god, that startled me. Oh god, jeez. Who are you? Huh? My heart leapt. I heard a sound that must have been Hideyoshi-san, who had probably been lying prostrate on the bed, bounding to his feet. Did he notice me?
How did you get in here? What's that? Wait a sec.
Oh god. He was clearly in a struggle with someone. Who on earth could it be? No, it doesn't matter who it is. It's probably the culprit, and they're probably trying to take Hideyoshi-san's life. Shouldn't I jump out of here and help him? If I can't help him, shouldn't I call for help? Oh god. No, but if I do something like that, I'll be questioned as to why I was hiding in here. However, if Hideyoshi-san gets killed like this... now isn't the time to be saying that. At this rate, I'll certainly be killed. I'll jump out of here and help him right now. But if I do that, even if I can save Hideyoshi-san, I might be abandoning my husband's life. Hideyoshi-san's life and my husband's life. How sinful it would be to try and weigh those against each other. At the time, there was a loud sound as the door opened and the chain was pulled tight. Someone was trying to open the door despite the chain being set. Dear, it's me. Could you open up?
Eva! Oh!
Dear? What's happening? Dear! Open up! Oh no. Open up! Open up, dear! Someone! She opened and closed the door over and over again, well, with all her might, but of course, she couldn't snap the chain. Eva-san called for help in a loud voice and raced through the hallway. By this time, the room had settled back into silence, and that earlier sense of Hideyoshi being in a noisy struggle had disappeared completely. What's going on here? So right now I'm in the same room as the murderer who killed Hideyoshi-san? Oh god. I would be so terrified in her place as well, Toy. In that case, the culprit should try to escape from the room as soon as possible. So why the hiding in here? I haven't heard anything. Nothing that might have been the culprit who attacked Hideyoshi-san running away. No matter how much I strain my ears, I can't sense anyone in the room. In fact, it's so silent that it makes what happened just a second ago feel like an illusion. In other words, does this mean that the culprit is hiding his breath? Standing just outside this closet, waiting for me to stumble out? I don't even know what I should be scared of anymore. If I could only just melt away with into the darkness of this closet. I mustn't remain in this room any longer. I get the feeling I have more to worry about than just my personal safety. Oh, God. What should I do? I don't even know if it's a good idea to leave this closet. Eventually, the clamor of many rushing footsteps approached. I'll hold my breath again and melt away into the darkness of this closet. Eva dashed back, bringing everyone with her. Goda was gripping some wire cutters to cut the chain with. After trying to open the door again and confirming that the chain was still set, she yelled through the crack in the door. Dear! We're gonna open this up! Cut it right now!
Yes!
Goda stuck the large wire cutter, which looked like it could slice off a whole finger, through the crack of the door, and easily severed the chain. Dear! Oh, God. As soon as it was severed, Eva pushed Goda aside and dashed in. Can anyone tell me, do you know how much longer is left in this chapter? Or in the scene? The others tried to follow her, but they bumped into Eva, who had fallen to her knees, moaning. So even though they couldn't tell much of what was going on inside the room, they could tell by Eva's moans that they were too late.
What the hell?
Dear! Dear! Dr. Nacho! Look at my husband quickly!
I'll do it right now.
You've got to be kidding me! It's only been about 10 minutes since Uncle Hideyoshi went out saying he wanted to rest.
Is there anyone in the bathroom?
No. There's no one here.
What could have happened? Dear!
I'm afraid to say that there's nothing I can do.
Nanjo stood up, hanging his head sadly. It was only natural, because anyone, thank you, Matt, even if they weren't a doctor, would think that at a glance. Hideyoshi was lying face down on the bed, and stuck deep into his back was something like a blade with an intricate demonic design on it. When Eva pulled it out with all her might, they could tell that it wasn't a blade, but some kind of stake. And its sharp tip had penetrated nearly 15 centimeters in. It had probably dug deep into the lungs. If it had been stuck in any harder, the tip might even have pierced all the way through the surface of his chest. I tell you to wait for me!
どうして一人で先に行っちゃったのよ。
Why did you go out alone? Stupid, stupid, stupid! Oh god.
多分犯人は俺たちが油断してばらけるのを待ってたんだろうな。
The culprit probably waited for us to get careless and split up. And that bastard. So he still hasn't had enough blood.
やはりこの屋敷のどこかに隠れていて
So he really is hiding somewhere in this mansion
私たちを狙っているのでしょうか
and coming after us.
それよりおかしいわ。
But there's something strange here, darling.
この部屋は戸締まりが完璧なのよ。
The doors and windows to this room are completely sealed.
Ugh.
確か
That's right.
に鎧戸もすべて閉まってますし、扉にはさっきまでチェーンが。
The shutters are all shut, and the door chain was set up until a second ago.
それはおかしいではありませんか。
That's crazy!
それじゃ犯人はどうやってこのお部屋の秀吉様を襲ったというんですか。
In that case, how did the culprit attack Hideyoshi-san in this room?
扉の隙間からこの杭を投げて刺したとか。
Maybe they threw this stick through the crack in the door.
その隙間から秀吉さんのベッドは完全に死角よ。
Nuh-uh, sugar. Hideyoshi-san's bed is an internal blind spot from this crack.
銃を使ったって殺せやしない。
Hell, you couldn't even kill him with a gun.
おかしな話になったわ。
This really is strange.
密室殺人。
It's a closed room murder.
密室殺人
A closed room murder?
そうと決めつけるのは早いぜ。
It's a bit too early to be sure about that.
風呂場の天井を外して天井裏に逃げたとか。
Maybe he removed this.
鎧戸が実は外からでも閉められるとか。
Maybe he removed this.
Yeah, I'm okay. Okay, so you didn't miss much. Okay, that's good at least. This is Battler's line here. Fucking OBS. Fucking hell. It hadn't done that in quite a while.
Maybe he removed the ceiling in the bathroom and escaped to the space above it. Or maybe you can close the shutters from outside.
The shutters? They didn't budge an inch from the outside.
Yeah, you guys didn't miss too much. Welcome to the stream, Hattie.
今確認してきました
I just went and checked.
ウリコ。
Erica!
It's no wonder that everything felt so quiet and relaxed. At some point, Erica had split from the group. Just now, she had finally arrived and poked her face in from the hallway. Once she heard that a crime had occurred in this room, she had watched everyone rush towards the room, but circled around to the outer wall herself. And she had gone all by herself to check that the shutter was down on the window, that you couldn't do anything with it from the outside, that there was nothing out of the ordinary.
室内は案の定お約束で
Is the inside of this room just like usual?
そういう言い方はねえだろ。
There's no need to say it like that.
で室内の状況は
So, what's the situation inside the room?
扉にはチェーンがかかっていて、私たちは切断して入ったわ。
The chain was set on the door, so we couldn't enter.
そして窓にはすべて鎧戸。
And all the windows had the shutters down.
しっかり内側から施錠されてる。
They're locked tight from the inside.
奥は何を揉めてるんです？
What are they bickering about in there?
Eva was arguing with Nanjo about something. Apparently she wanted to carry the corpse to the parlor. Nanjo tried to calm her, saying that they should leave the crime scene as untouched as possible until the police came. What happened to the other corpses? The culprit carried them off somewhere, right?
殺すだけじゃ飽き足らず、遺体にまで何か無体なことをするつもりなのかもしれない。
It may be that the culprit isn't satisfied with just one killing, but intends to do something with the corpses.
だからダメ。
So no way!
ここへ主人を一人ぼっちで残していくなんて絶対ダメ。
No way we're leaving my husband all alone here! Eva does have a point. After all, the victims before now have all been carried away after we were shown their terrible wounds.
Erika-chan.
現場をそのままで保存したいだろうね。今回はちょいと折れてもらうぜ。
You'd probably like to preserve the crime scene. But could you just let this one slide?
どうぞご勝手に。
Do whatever you want.
私にとって興味があるのは、金蔵さんの書斎よりはるかにまともな密室が出現したことだけです。
All I'm interested in is the fact that a closed room has appeared. That's much more serious than Kinzo-san's study.
死体には興味ありませんので、どうぞご自由になさってください。
I have no interest in corpses, so do as you please.
Battler's expression was clearly unhappy, but she ignored him completely.
搬出していただいて結構ですよ。死体。
Feel free to carry that corpse out any time.
それとも私が邪魔ですか？
Or am I in the way?
Erica backed away from the door to open a path. She showed no trace of any sadness for the dead. Her eyes simply blazed with the thoughts of this closed room murder that had appeared. In any event, the great detective had given her permission. Eva and some others wrapped Hideyoshi up in the sheets, and Goda and Rudolph carried him out. The sheets were quickly stained red. It was so painful to see that Shannon and Kumasawa stripped the blanket off the bed to further cover the corpse.
Hey, out of the way.
Yes, I am out of the way.
100枚運ぼう。
Let's go to the parlor.
はい。
Yes.
あなた。あなた。
God, you have to feel... You have to feel so sorry for Eva at this point. Seriously. This is unimaginable. She must feel so alone. Oh my god, Eva, jeez. Oh my god. Dear! Dear!
いいこと？みんな。
Listen up, everyone.
これからは常に団体行動よ。
From now on, we'll always move as a group.
絶対に孤立してはダメ。
Y'all mustn't let yourself be isolated.
犯人は源氏さんを襲った時点でマスターキーを得ているはずだ。
When the culprit attacked Genji, he probably got a master key.
正常がもはや安全を保証しないことは明白だぜ。
It's clear that even locking up will no longer make you safe.
しかし、チェーンまでされていたのにどうやって？
But even the chain was dead. How did they do it?
It's impossible.
鎧戸もチェーンロックもしっかりかかっていた。
The shutters in the chain were firmly set.
マスターキーがあったって あの部屋に押し入るのは不可能だ。
Even with a master key, it'd be impossible to force your way into that room.
ベアトリーチェ様の仕業ですよ。
It must have been Beatrice's son is doing. Oh.
ベアトリーチェ様のはずありません。
There's no way Beatrice-sama did this.
碑文は解かれ、すでに儀式の意味は失われたはず。
The epitaph has been solved, so there shouldn't be any more reason to hold the ceremony.
わかるものが
Of course, we can't understand it.
魔女にしか不可能だ。
This would be impossible for anyone except a witch.
魔女にしか不可能ですか。
Oh, you just triggered me. Impossible for anyone except a witch, you say? Good.
いい響きです。
Has a nice ring to it.
エリカちゃん、話を聞いてる？
Erica-chan, are you listening, sugar?
私たちはこれから全体行動って決まったわ。
We've decided to stick together from now on.
私たちはまず秀吉さんの遺体を客間へ運ぶ。
First, we're carrying Hideyoshi-san's corpse to the parlor.
探偵ごっこはそれからにしない？
Can y'all hold off playing detective until we get there? When she heard the words playing detective, Erica grimaced visibly. Then everyone stumbled out, and she took a single step into the now empty guest room, looked around, and burned that scene into her eyes. Erica claimed to have a photographic memory. If that was true, those few seconds were more than enough for her. Later on, she could slip back tea in the parlor while perusing the photograph of the scene inside her memory, playing the part of an armchair detective. Then suddenly, her eyes stopped on the closet off to the side. A closet for hanging overcoats. If it was large enough to fit a coat on a hanger, a person should be able to hide in it. Slowly, Erica, stretch your hand out towards the closet. Erica's shoulder was grabbed roughly from behind.
行くぜ探偵さん。
Interesting. Battler!
Let's go, Miss Detective.
団体行動を乱すなって修学旅行で習わなかったか？
Didn't you ever learn how to stick together on school field trips?
私が旅行に行くと必ず人が死ぬってお約束がありまして。
Well, wherever I go traveling, someone always dies.
I'm beginning to think someone threw you off that boat. And I'm also beginning to think I agreed with them.
ほら、何してやがるガキども。
Hey! What do you think you're doing, brats?
早く来い。
Come quickly!
Rudolph told them to hurry. After clicking her tongue and glaring at the closet, Erica followed Battler back to the parlor for the time being. The sound of their footsteps finally faded. That time of terror, when I feared the events, even the dripping cold, sweat covering my cheeks, when I feared that even the dripping of the cold sweat covering my cheeks might be noticed, had finally ended. With my hand that still couldn't stop trembling, I slowly opened the closet door and dashed out into the hallway. It's okay. No one's found me. Still, it's a good thing they didn't lock the door. If they had, I wouldn't be able to lock it behind me after I left. And they'd find that suspicious. Exactly, Armora. Erica would be suspicious as fuck if she didn't have freaking protagonist immunity. Like, seriously. Anyway, I should leave this place. Then I'll return to my room and pretend that I was sleeping the whole time. Yes, if I don't get back soon. A new murder has occurred. They'll probably try to tell me about it. And they'll probably try to do it shortly after they carry Hideyoshi-san's corpse back to the parlor. I can get her on the phone, call by saying I was asleep and didn't notice. But if they come knocking directly, that'll be bad. I have to get back quickly before they try to force their way in. I don't know whether I should run on noisily, hide out my footsteps and walk in secret, or walk around normally as though nothing has happened. At the very least, it'd be bad if I bump into them on their way back to the parlor. Anyway, I'll head to my room at a quick pace, without being noticed by anyone. I pass through the hallway to the lobby. I go up the big staircase in the lobby. My room is just a little bit...
Natsuhi-san?
Ah! Here we go. Just as she was about to go up the large staircase, Natsuhi heard Erika call out to her, and was so surprised she visibly jumped.
I was just about to go and tell you the news.
Thank you very much. God damn it, Natsuhi! Did something happen?
Just now, Natsuhi-san. You were climbing the stairs, right? Your room is upstairs, isn't it?
Erika coldly pointed out this strange fact. Natsuhi cursed her bad luck. I couldn't sleep, so I was going to return to the parlor. But I wasn't sure whether I had locked my room or not, so I was about to head back. I'm a worrier, so this sort of thing happens a lot. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that sort of thing does happen a lot. It's a common quirk among people who aren't confident in their memory.
Normally, since Erika was clearly making fun of her, Natsuhi might have looked annoyed. However, right now, Natsuhi was extremely relieved to hear Erika admit that this sort of thing happened a lot. Why are you by yourself, Erika-san?
I thought I'd investigate the guest room.
Guest room?
Yeah. Situation's gotten pretty serious, hasn't it?
Yeah, it is a good lie of hers to invent on the spot with that staircase thing.
And investigating the scene of the crime is my right.
Erika's probing gaze peered deep into Natsuhi's eyes. She could tell. Erika already suspected Natsuhi. Judging by the subtle nuance in her words, she must be planning to make me slip up and reveal that I know about the crime with Hideyoshi, when I supposedly haven't been told about it yet. That's okay, Oe, welcome back. Natsuhi played dumb and asked what had happened again. Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing. This is just a repeat of the first crime, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Again, you were in your room. And again, you can't prove your alibi, can you?
I don't know what you mean! Turn it around! How can you prove that I wasn't in my room?
Ah, that.
ならばそれはおいおい。
Then let's take this one step at a time.
鍵は後にしてください。
Please worry about your lock later.
皆さんに重大な話があります。
I have something vitally important to discuss with everyone.
鍵を確認したら戻ります。
I'll come back after I check my lock.
先に始めていてください。
Please get started without me.
秀吉さんが殺されました。
Hideyoshi-san has been
そ
killed.
の件についてです。
We'll be talking about that.
What? She had planned on using the need to check her lock as an excuse to escape to her own room, after which she would claim to have sudden headache and stay in bed for the rest of the time. However, now that she had been informed of Hideyoshi's murder, it would be clearly suspicious to postpone that and escape to her room. She was already under suspicion just because she'd been seen heading up the stairs to the second floor. She couldn't afford to do anything else suspicious. Natsuhi gave up and headed for the parlor, as Erika urged her to do. Here we go! Now we're going to catch up to where we were. When she opened the door to the parlor, Eva's sobs poured out, and everyone glanced at Natsuhi with grave faces. Those gazes almost made it look as though they suspected Natsuhi. It was now painfully apparent to Natsuhi. This must have been what that man was after. It was a trap to create a baffling closed-room mystery, and to try to frame her for it. However, she couldn't have resisted. She couldn't sacrifice her husband's life. And while it's true I hid in the closet, that's all I did. I definitely haven't committed murder. I might be extremely suspicious, but I'm not the culprit. And most importantly, I'm not under suspicion yet. I'll tell the police everything. I'll have to endure it until then. I'm sure one of the servants is a traitor. Even in a situation like this, if I mention my husband being held hostage, the culprit would hear and might use it as an excuse to kill him.
ちょうど夏日さんが戻ってきてくれました。
Natsuhi-san has just come back.
全員が揃ったところで、私から皆さんにとても重要な話があります。
Now that we're all here, I have something very important to discuss with you all.
重要な話?
Something very important?
重要な話です。
Yes, it's very important.
最初の事件からをすべて皆さんの前で整理したいと思います。
I'd like to lay out everything in front of you all, starting with the first crime.
それなら他の皆さんとなさってください。
Then please do that with just the others.
私はそういうことは警察に任せるべきと思っています。
I think we should leave that sort of thing to the police.
関心がありません。
I'm not interested.
整理した上で重要なお話があるのです。
Since I have it all laid out, this is a very important things to discuss.
あなたにも誰にも断る権利はありません。
Neither you nor anyone else has the right to refuse.
What? Erika used her detective's authority to proclaim the start of an assembly. None of the pieces could disobey. Praying that she wouldn't become the topic of conversation, Natsuhi reluctantly sat on the sofa as she'd been urged to.
すみません。
Oh, sorry.
その扉閉めてもらえます？
Could you close that door for me?
はい。
Yes.
Yes.
Shannon and Cannon closed the door. Since it had been decided a short while ago to lock all doors and windows carefully, Cannon locked it. That lock, which existed to protect the safety of this room, felt like a lock on a prison cell to Natsuhi, one that would hold her in place and prevent any escape. Natsuhi still hadn't noticed. Though Erika had gone into the corridor to check the crime scene in Hideyoshi's room, her goal had changed. In other words, from Erika's point of view, the sound of that lock was truly...
Checkmate.
Checkmate.
Erika said that suddenly. Burncastle said that suddenly.
Oh, fast!
何もう犯人分かっちゃったの
Wow, so you figured out the culprit already?
まだ事件だって全然進んでないのよ
We've barely gotten to any of the crimes, right?
もう少し殺させていろいろと手がかりを集めればいいのに
You could have just let me kill a few more and gathered a few clues yourself.
さあラムダ、すべての駒を集めなさい。
Okay, Lambda, gather all the
こ
pieces.
こからが一番面白いんじゃない
And now we're getting to the most interesting part.
思い切り楽しみましょう。お互いにね。
Let's both enjoy it to the fullest.
どうかしらね
Well, let's see.
お手並み拝見といくわよ
Why don't you show me what you've got?
24時のゲームセットを待たずにもう仕掛けてきたとはな。
To think she'd laid out the challenge without waiting for game set at 24 o'clock.
ベルンカステル共鳴。気の早い御人よ。
Around 10 minutes, thank you, Hattie. What a hasty person, that Lady Burncastle.
相当の早仕掛けですな。
It is quite an early challenge.
この段階でもう勝てる算段があるとは。
To think that she's already managed to obtain a winning hand at this stage.
普段なら魔女の存在を主張するだけで勝てるけど、
Normally, you can win just by claiming that a witch exists.
今回は夏日や金蔵や守るものが多いわ。
But with Natsuhi and Kinzo, we've got a lot worse we need to protect this time.
面倒な戦いになりそうね。
Sounds like this fight'll be a pain, honey.
面倒な戦い、大いに望むところよ。
That's no problem at all!
わらわの黄金の島で、これ以上の好き勝手はさせぬわ。
I won't let them do as they please with my golden island any longer!
受けて立とうぞ、ベルンカステル教。
Bring it on, Lady Burncastle!
フルドエリカ
Ferudo Erica! In the Golden Land, the endless rain continued to fall. Battler was nowhere to be seen. It would very soon reach the time that Battler had joined in on the 5th game, and control of the pieces would be passed on to Battler. In other words, he would only be officially added to the game now in this final stage, where Burncastle had pinpointed the culprit. So he had left the arbor a short while ago. Now the only ones in sight were Virgilia, who continued to knit silently, and Beato, who just sat there blankly amidst the smell of her black tea, not even putting the cup to her lips. Virgilia stopped knitting for a moment, and looked out across the vast golden rose garden that extended as far as the eye could see.
バトラ君は誰が犯人云々というだけのゲームなら
I believe it's safe to say that at least in the game over where the culprit is,
もう二度と屈することのない力を身につけたと言えるでしょう。
of who the culprit is, Battler has gained such strength that he will never surrender again.
第4のゲームまでであなたはすべてのメッセージを彼に伝えています。
By the 4th game, you have sent him all your messages.
つまりバトラ君はいつでもすべての真実に気づいても良いということです。
In other words, at this time, Battler-kun is capable of realizing the truth at any moment.
しかし彼には甘えがある。
However, he is still soft in some ways.
だから
So,
このままゲームを幾百と続けたとしても
even if the games continue like this 100 times,
永遠に解けはしない。
he won't solve it for all eternity.
まるで青い鳥を探すかのように永遠にさまよい続けるだけ。
He'll just wander forever, like someone trying to find the blue bird. And that is you, Beatrice. It's the same for you. Even if this game continues hundreds more times,
You will never reach the answer you seek for all eternity. Bancastle will abuse this game without a doubt. Lambda Delta will also churn this game about with the utmost arrogance. At a glance, that may be humiliating and appear to you and Battler as if the game has been stolen from you. However, that is something the two of you need right now, to end Battler's naive softness, to end your hesitation. And that's why you called the two of them here. To end the eternal torture between you. Those two will bring you either victory or defeat. But no matter how it goes, that result has already been filled with compassion. You understand that. You should understand that as well by now. Virgilia faced Beato, whom she had come to adore as a daughter, with cold eyes that she must not have shown often. It was like the gaze of a mother who, instead of scolding, silently urges their child to recognize their mistake. She really is like her mom. Beatrice. How long do you intend to stay there? Neither alive nor dead. Not rising up to heaven, nor falling into hell. There on the peak of Mount Purgatory. Ah! I am Virgilia. I have guided him through Purgatory and brought him to you at its peak. And you are Beatrice. Oh my God! You must choose whether to take his hand and rise up to heaven, or grab him and fall into hell. Did you know that the discord called Purgatory, which lies in the gap between heaven and hell, is sometimes more torturous than even hell itself? On the gates of hell, it is written that you must abandon all hope. A human without hope can accept their suffering and give up. However, the residents of Purgatory have hope. A hope of possibly reaching heaven. A hope that cannot be abandoned. And it tortures them. Even in the depths of hell, no greater torture exists than the single pin known as hope. Fly. Fly from the cliffs of Purgatory. Take with you the regrets caused by your fleeting, fragile, foolish hopes and open up Pandora's box. Are you scared? Scared of opening the box? Beato was silent, but with a single tear she nodded slightly. Oh God! Is the cat in the box alive or dead? The time has now come to check. If the cat is dead, quickly hold a funeral for it and have it rise to heaven. If the cat is alive, quickly feed it and give it all of your affection. Whether it is alive or dead, your cat box eternally desecrates the cat. The key to the box you were afraid to open has been brought to you by those two. Oh my god. Beatrice. It's time for you to die now.
No! No!
I hope that your heart is stopped by the hand of the person you desire!
Oh my god, oh my god! No! 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 Damn, look at all this time passing. Holy shit. Oh no, 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 no! No! She can't die! No, 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 no. Please, no. Whoa! And a new background music too. Okay, before we start this, Hideyoshi's new profile. And a new background and a new background music. Shiramiya Hideyoshi. His corpse was found in a guest room on the first floor of the mansion. A demon's stake had pierced through his back. The tip of it reached as far as his lungs. Because he was lying face down in the bed, it was unthinkable that this was a suicide. This is the super chapter. Okay, you guys. Okay, oh my god. Wow. Please, Battler. Please don't kill her. Please. Please. Okay, you guys. In 2 days, I might start early. Just to warn you guys, I might have an early start next time. Thank you, Matt. Yep. Okay, it looks like there's gonna be a big epic showdown here. We didn't even see Battler play the rest of the game here. Oh my god. Oh, away. Thank you so much. I'm getting pretty tired right now, and it's been exactly 4 hours, so I'm just gonna say thank you so much to everyone who came to this stream. It means so much to me. You guys are amazing. And we'll see what's gonna happen here next time. In 2 days. The stream might start early, just to say it might start maybe an hour early. An hour or a half hour early. Just gonna warn you. Alright, so I'm gonna say for now, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. You are all the sweetest of hearts. See ya.